subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
001. The strongest captain system. What? I have crossed over? This is the world of pirates in the anime. The strongest captain system? The only mission in this world. Form a pirate group and become the strongest pirate group. On a certain sandy beach with fine sand like snow, a young man who just climbed up from the sea was bewildered. His name is Lynn. He just crossed over from Blue Star a few minutes ago and bound a system called the strongest captain. Lynn quickly accepted the reality and began to understand her own system. Because this world is too dangerous. Don't look at the pirate world in the comics is full of romantic, adventurous, and fantasy elements. But that is the reason for the halo of the protagonist group. This world, for ordinary people, is a cruel world where the weak prey on the strong. So he had to figure out the system as soon as possible in order to gain the power to protect himself. The strongest captain system. As the name suggests, it is a system that allows Lynn to grow into the strongest captain in 10,000 realms. At present, the system only opens the function of God-level recruitment to him. God-level recruitment. Using this system function, you can recruit the crew you want from 10,000 realms. Myriad realms? Could it be that Aizen and Uchiha can be recruited? Lynn's eyes lit up. Whether it is Aizen or Uchiha Madara, they all have the power to suppress this world. As long as you have one of them as a crew member, you can become the strongest pirate group with ease. However, the relevant information fed back by the system cooled down his enthusiasm. 1. Recruited crew members are limited to women. 2. The level of the captain determines the strength of the recruited crew. The captain's level is divided into 9 levels, and he is currently at 0 level. 3. Recruiting crew requires system points. In other words, at the moment, he is not yet able to recruit across borders. If you want to recruit across borders, you must first accumulate enough system points. System points can be obtained from captain level upgrades or rewards for completing missions. There is only one main mission, and it seems that we can only make up our minds from the level of the captain. To upgrade from level 0 captain to level 1, the conditions given by the system are simple. Lynn only needs to have a bounty of 10 million and 500 prestige. Lynn gritted her teeth after reading the relevant information. System, you are so unkind. I came here through a physical body. You should give me a gift bag, for beginners at least. He has to complain. The strength value of Pirate World is not low. Even East Blue, the weakest pirate in the rumors, and pirates with stronger strength values can break through walls and smash ships at will, and break knives with bare hands. Although his physical fitness was not bad before crossing, but compared with these beasts, he is still far behind. Master Host, don't be impatient. The novice gift package has been distributed in your personal space, 1 cubic meter. Please check. Before he finished complaining, the system's notification tone sounded in his mind, bringing surprising information. The system not only gave him a portable space of 1 cubic meter, but also sent him a nice gift package for beginners. 1,000 power points? This novice gift pack directly made Lynn a strong player in East Blue. Receive the novice gift bag. Forehead, unexpectedly. As soon as Lynn received the novice gift package, she couldn't help but groan in pain. The power generated by the 1,000 Tao force actually caused drastic changes to his body and brought unbearable pain. Otanashi Fukaru in CP9 in the original book once said, "In this world, anyone with 500 points of power can be called a Superman and is no longer in the category of ordinary people. As for the 1,000 power value, it even exceeds the power value of Otanashi Fukaru himself. Otanashi Fukaru's power value is only 800. Therefore, it is normal for Lynn to suddenly upgrade from a mortal body to a superhuman body. The evolution is too fast, and there will be pain. Fortunately, the physical discomfort was fleeting, and he controlled this powerful force. So strong. Lynn felt the surging power in her body, and was very surprised. Now, even if there was a Siberian tiger in front of him, he still had the confidence to kill it with 1 punch. What's more, his whole body has also undergone obvious changes. Not only is he a little taller, but the muscles of his whole body are also obviously firmer, and his lines have become more perfect. Well, the next moment, Lynn, who was excited and happy, seemed to smell something and almost vomited on the spot, making him rush into the sea to wash up. It turns out that the wave of force just now transforms his body, washing out many impurities in his body, making his whole body stink. After cleaning up, Lynn put her mind on the quick upgrade. Only by breaking through can you get better rewards and recruit crew members to complete the main task of the system. From the information given by the system, it can be seen that a bounty of 10 million and a reputation of 500 are required to upgrade from a 0-level captain to a 1st-level captain. From the 1st level to the 2nd level, there is a reward of 30 million and 3,000 prestige. Of course, before that, he had to figure out where he was. Here is East Blue, Fallen Leaf Village. Lynn found an uncle fisherman who looked haggard, and after asking where she was now, she was a little surprised. He actually started the game from East Blue, which is recognized as the weakest sea. But it's not bad to start from East Blue. At least thanks to the known information, you can know the information of many islands in East Blue. Unlike the other 3 sea areas, you don't know where to start. However, after Lynn asked a few more words, he was even more surprised. This deciduous island is not far from Kokoyashi Village. And like Kokoyashi Village, this small island is also under the rule of the Dragon Pirates. Matching the time in my impression, it should be a few months before Luffy went to rescue Kokoyashi Village. Of course, if it's on the way, Lynn doesn't mind being more involved and helping them get rid of this nasty Murloc pirate group. After all, those Murlocs are too hateful. They are so cruel that calling them animals is an insult to animals. Over the years, they have ruled more than 20 villages in the vicinity, and they have bought life money from everyone in those villages every month. 100,000 berry for adults and 50,000 for children, without interruption. Anyone who resists will be killed on the spot. Even the whole family will die. Uncle, can you take me to where the dragon pirates are? I'll help you kill those bastards. Lynn thought about it and decided to make a move. After all, he needs to increase his bounty, and the best way to increase the bounty is to anger Marine and defeat other pirates. The evil dragon, the leader of the Murloc pirates, is offering a reward of 20 million berry. If you kill this guy, won't your bounty increase to more than 20 million? At this time, the uncle fisherman's face changed drastically when he heard the words. Little brother, it's not my uncle. I underestimate you. Those pirates are not ordinary pirates. They are Murlocs, and their strength is much stronger than us humans. We also paid a lot of money to hire some powerful pirate hunters to deal with them. But those pirate hunters couldn't even beat the Murlocs guarding the gate, and all of them lost their lives. Also, they're stronger in the water than on the ground. I heard that Marine colluded with them. Lynn waved her hand and stopped him. I know all of this, but I'm not an ordinary person. I'm a famous pirate hunter in the entire East Blue Lynn. Whoosh! As soon as she finished speaking, Lynn dodged to a distance of more than 10 meters and smashed a huge rock there with a punch. Boom! The gravel splashed and the dust and smoke filled the air, which almost made the fisherman uncle's jaw drop. That gigantic rock has been standing by the sea for decades. It is extremely hard granite, and it can be smashed with a single punch. The power is too terrifying. It seems that the strength of this young man is really not inferior to those Murlocs. After the strong hope surged up, the uncle fisherman's tongue was a little knotted. Lynn, master. Lynn, even if I Bunir will take you. To Evil Dragon Park? Evil Dragon Park is the place where evil dragon pirates occupy. It is next door to Kokoyashi Village. However, when Bunnier rushed to take Lynn to the pier to find a boat and head to Kokoyashi Village, he slapped his head. Oops, Lord Lynn, I forgot that my ship has been requisitioned by the Marine. You madman. Lynn was a bit dark and speechless, so she had to say, Then uncle, please treat me to a meal first, I'm hungry. Lynn suddenly felt a strong hunger. It should be due to the rapid evolution of the body just now. After all, so many impurities have been washed out, and the body consumes a lot. In addition, I smashed a huge rock just now. Haha, no problem, little brother. You should have said earlier, I can still afford a meal. Bunnier touched his head and smiled, then led Lynn to his home. But there is nothing delicious in my house, just some fruits and salted fish. Bunnier seemed to remember something and felt a little embarrassed. Over the years, They have been continuously exploited and squeezed by the evil dragon pirates. It is considered pretty good that they can live to this day. How can there be any good things at home? How could Lynn care about these things? It doesn't matter. Hey, that's Marine. P.S. The new book sets sail. Ask for tickets. Tickets are the source of support for the author. Please raise your hand once or twice. Thank you. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time. April 29th to May 3rd. 002. Kill Colonel Mouse. Defeat the evil dragon Murloc pirates. Lynn was talking and found a not-so-small boat parked at the pier not far away. High above the ship hangs the familiar flag of a seagull with a balance in its mouth. It's Marine. Useless Marine. That dirty mouse has come to our village to fetch free fruit again. Not only did they not deal with the evil dragons, they often came to grab our fruits. This group of hateful robbers will definitely die in the future. Bunnier's resentment towards Marine does not seem to be under the Dragon Gang, and it is said that he gritted his teeth and looked very hateful. Rat? Could it be that Colonel Mouse? A wretched and sinister face immediately appeared in Lynn's mind. It can only be that guy. After all, that guy is in charge of this area. If he hadn't been bought by the evil Dragon Gang with a lot of money to conceal the evil deeds of the evil Dragon Gang, then this area would not be so miserable. Bernier, when I leave, you tell them afterward that Lynn did all of this. After Lynn left a sentence, she dodged and galloped towards the pier, completely ignoring the stunned Bunnier. At this moment, that Colonel Mouse is already a dead man in Lynn's eyes. At the same time, Lynn also wants to take this warship to Kokoyashi village and then kill the evil dragon pirates. In the original book, after Luffy and the others killed the dragon pirates, the bounty rose to 30 million. Maybe, after completing this ticket by myself, I could be promoted to 2 ranks in a row and directly promoted to the 2nd level captain. Bastards, the sun is going down. You move quickly, or you will go to the brothel later, and there will be no beautiful girls. You bastards, are you rich and lazy at work? Or will you get extra money next month? All cancel. On the pier, a mouse-eyed, deer-headed Colonel Marine with hairy ears was yelling at his subordinates. Colonel Mouse, the Marine commander in charge of this area of the sea. They are greedy and sinister by nature, but they are also very shrewd. So even though the dragon pirates have been doing evil for many years, they have not attracted the attention of Marine's upper management. However, his life is about to end today. Wait a minute. Are you looking for Marie or Milna? Forget it. Of course you want all the adults. Colonel Mouse was dreaming happily, but he didn't expect to see a handsome young man coming to him. And then he grabbed his neck with one hand and lifted himself up. He wanted to beg for mercy or something, but found that the other party was pinching his throat so tightly that he couldn't make a sound at all. You are Colonel Mouse? Huh. Master Evil Dragon asked me to take you to say hello. We Murlocs have endured you for a long time, and you should spit it out after taking so much money from us. Lynn laughed and made up a lie. Who are you? Put Colonel Mouse down. You're crazy. We're Marine. Don't mess around. Even your Lord Dragon must respect our Colonel Mouse. Only then did the other Marines regain their senses and quickly drew out their weapons and shouted, What? You would rather die than submit? Long live Marine? Very good. I admire you. Good death. Lynn ignored them, then said to Colonel Mouse, and then simply twisted Colonel Mouse's head off. Colonel Mouse was originally an ordinary person with poor physique, and he was able to become a colonel only because of his connections behind him. This could not stand the twist of Lynn, who has 1,000 power points. So once the neck was broken, it was completely dead. Crack! The crisp sound of bones breaking, although not very loud, made the whole small pier quiet. All Marines know their own colonel without devil fruit ability has already died at this time. At the same time, they were also very speechless. BD, you strangle our colonel's neck. How can he answer? And you are asking yourself and answering, you think we are fools. They were outraged by Lynn's ferocious behavior that ignored Marine's majesty. The relationship behind Colonel Mouse is not simple. Now that they die here, their future will also be over. UBD who doesn't know how to live or die. D. You are doomed. Marine is the only overlord in the sea. You offended Marine. No matter whether you go to the sky or hide in the deep sea, you will not live long. Several Marines rushed up angrily. You guys better save it. Lynn was too lazy to talk to them and kicked them all away. In order to offer a bounty, he was not light on his feet. These Marines who were kicked into the air were all dead before they fell. These bastards have done a lot of crimes with Colonel Mouse, and it is Lynn's kindness to kick them to death. As for those who were stunned on the warship and continued to surrender, Lynn let it go. After all, Lynn still needs them to sail to Kokoyashi village to find the dragon. If you follow the original book and don't kill Colonel Mouse, just beat him up before killing the dragon. The bounty may not be as much as Luffy's, but it won't be much worse. But Lynn couldn't tolerate the sand in her eyes. Colonel Mouse is obviously a bad guy no less than the evil dragon gang, but it is very annoying to be able to survive in the original book. Let me meet today. Why is this dissatisfaction also got it? In addition to the blood-boiling excitement of killing someone for the first time, it also gave Lynn a different feeling. Not all negative feelings, but a pleasure of manipulation and dominance. Perhaps the mentality of the strong must start to change from this aspect? Lynn sighed. In the world of pirates, many strong people regard the lives of the weak as ants. If there is any violation, they will wantonly plunder, and there is no mercy at all. In this world, only the strong, only the fist, can have the right to speak, to dominate. It all happened so suddenly at the pier that Lynn boarded the boat and left before Bunnyer even had time to react. This. Bunnyer stuttered again. For a moment, his thoughts were confused. Obviously, Lynn told him to kill the dragon pirates just a minute ago, but now she claims to be a member of the dragon pirates and kills Colonel Mouse. It must be so. Lord Lynn, you are the savior of our fallen leaf village. Soon, he was shocked, guessed the general idea, and burst into tears. Master Lynn, Dragon Park is just ahead. The speed of this small warship is good, and it took more than half an hour to sail to Coconut Island, which is more than 20 miles away. Elong Park is located on the southwest side of Kikiasi Village. It covers an area of several hundred acres. 2 large pavilions with shark heads with wide mouths and sharp teeth are surrounded by a very magnificent building. On the top of the building, a blood-red sawtooth shark's pirate flag is flying. Fire at me, and don't stop until you blow them all down. Lynn gave the order without thinking. The rest of the Marines had already seen his ruthlessness, so they didn't dare to disobey him, so they hurriedly obeyed. Boom, boom, boom. A few seconds later, several cannons on the warship spewed out flames and sent shells one by one into the Dragon Park, turning the gorgeous buildings inside into ruins and flames. Marine, you guys are crazy. Isn't that Colonel Mouse's warship? Yes. I recognize those bastards at the bow. Sure enough, dogs are not familiar. No matter how much you feed them, it's useless. The Murlocs inside were immediately startled, and everyone cursed angrily. Some rushed over, while others caught the shells in their hands and even threw them back. It has to be said that the Murlocs are born with 10 times the strength of humans. This racial advantage is too obvious. No wonder they ruled here for so many years, and no one can overthrow them. Stop shooting, Lynn ordered, and then rushed out in a flash. Snapped! He kicked the thrown cannonball away. He will use that warship next, so he won't let it be damaged. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd. 003, crushed. Prestige achieved. However, kicking the cannonballs also made him fall into the sea. After all, he doesn't have the ability of Devil Fruit, nor does he have skills like Moonwalk. No matter how strong his body is, he still can't stay in the air. Plop! Seeing him fall into the sea, the Murlocs who rushed out cheered. Although Lynn, who is kicking the bomb, looks like he can fight, but in the water, it is the world of Murlocs. And those who killed from the bottom of the water at the first time were all the cadres of the regiment. However, their cheering stopped in 2 or 3 seconds, because they saw Lynn jumping from the bottom of the sea with 2 Murlocs, leaping tens of meters, and then landing on the land in the inner gate of the park, facing their own dragon boss who was still lying on the beach chair. Are you a dragon? Lynn put aside the two Murloc leaders who had lost their lives and calmly asked the man a few meters away. The man was about 2 meters tall, extremely strong, with a long, jagged nose and a pair of dark eyes full of murderous intent. It is the dragon captain of the dragon pirates. Human, you are courting death. The evil dragon was surprised by Lynn's strength. He didn't want to turn his back on him immediately, but when he found out that the two cadres of his family were dead, he became angry and didn't care about it. Then let's talk about it once. Shark on darts. He went straight out like a fired torpedo, locked onto Lynn, and slammed into it. As soon as you make a shot, you must do your best, and you dare not spare half of your strength. At the same time, he was also prepared to run away if he lost the enemy. Because Lynn killed his two capable cadres underwater instantly with a shot, it was really shocking. After all, even he couldn't be so tyrannical. Although he felt that he might not be able to defeat the opponent, he was much relieved when he thought that there were many hidden waterways in the park that had escaped. However, he underestimated Lynn's determination to kill him. Boom! Lynn didn't know when she had already dodged to his side and then swung an uppercut that sent him flying. Just as punch smashed his cheeks and even shattered his sharp and hard teeth. Wow! The evil dragon let out a miserable cry and was blasted into the sky like a straight line. Hateful. He also vaguely guessed why Lynn beat him into the sky. This is to prevent yourself from escaping from the waterway? But this time he guessed wrong. Because Lynn knocked him into the air, he didn't take the opportunity to pursue him, but turned his target to other Murlocs in the park. You! With screams, Lynn killed the other Murlocs in the park one by one in just 2 or 3 seconds. His true strength was fully revealed at this time. It was obviously higher than all the Murlocs here by more than 1 level. Slap! The evil dragon landed, clutching his battered left cheek and staring at Lynn fiercely. Kill him! Kill this devil! Cut him into pieces! Kill these bastards! But at this moment, there were a lot of cheering sounds from the distant hillside. It turned out that the villagers of Kikiasi village heard the explosion, and they all came to watch the excitement secretly. At first, they didn't dare to make any noise due to the ferocity of the Murloc, but seeing that Lynn killed the Murloc as easily as killing a chicken, they couldn't help it. The hatred and depression accumulated in the past 7 or 8 years are not something ordinary people can suppress. The cheers and assists from the villagers didn't distract Lynn at all. Instead, he kicked a stone away and killed a Murloc who wanted to sneak away. Brother, I don't have any hatred with you. Don't we need to meet each other through life and death? Are you asking for money? There are more than 1 billion berry in my treasury. The evil dragon gave up. Although he ran from the Grand Line to East Blue in desperation, he wanted to build a dragon empire and then accumulate enough power to counterattack and take revenge. But all these years of being pampered and pampered, he is no longer the evil dragon who followed Tiger's boss in the revolution and regarded life and death as nothing. So for my own life, I also cherish it extraordinarily. Righteous man, don't listen to his bewitching. Yes, Murlocs are the most despicable bastards. Don't believe what they say. The villagers on the hillside became anxious when they saw that the dragon wanted to bribe Lynn with money. They look forward to the stars and the moon to the point of despair. They have nothing to love, and they almost live like numb walking corpses. It is also the grace of God that they wait for Lynn to kill God. If Lynn was paid for like this, it would be a blow from heaven to hell, enough to overwhelm them all. You have been scraping in this area for so many years, and you have saved so much. Although 1 billion berry is already a big number, Lynn is still a little disappointed. In the original book, these bastards collect life money from the villagers, but adults are 100,000 per month, children 50,000, and a year is 1.2 million adults and 600,000 children. And the dragon pirates ruled at least 20 villages, plus 7 or 8 years of accumulation. So Lynn thought there could be billions. Undoubtedly, these Murlocs usually squandered a lot, and Colonel Mouse also shared a lot. The faces of the villagers darkened when they saw that Lynn seemed to be accepting money from the dragon. This world is hopeless. Complete despair filled their hearts. But at this time, I know where his money bank is. If you kill him, I'll give you another 100 million berry. A crisp voice floated over from a certain corner. Nami you. Hearing the words, The evil dragon turned his head to look at the source of the sound. His eyes were about to burst into flames with anger. Lynn saw a pretty-looking orange-haired girl standing there holding a long stick. It turned out to be Nami. "Okay, Lynn, have accepted this order from you, beauty." Lynn smiled slightly. And then, boom! Everyone first heard a violent impact. Then their eyes were dazzled. And then they saw Lynn and the dragon fists slammed into each other. Immediately afterwards, crack! Well, there was a crackling sound and the painful cry of the dragon. Lynn's punch with all his strength actually shattered the bones in his entire arm. The dragon was terrified. You must know that the Murloc's bones are said to be as strong as steel. Lynn didn't let him gasp, and the lightning struck the rest of his body. The speed of the evil dragon can't keep up at all, so it can only be beaten passively. Crack! Bang bang! In just 3 or 4 seconds, Lynn blasted all the bones out of his limbs. Snapped! The dragon vomited blood and fell to the ground miserably. At this moment, all his courage was gone. Crack! But Lynn didn't show mercy because his limbs were shattered and continued to step on him twice, crushing the bones in his spine and chest before giving up. Lynn has to be cautious. In the original book, this guy's teeth can regenerate in a short time, and I don't know if his bones are so special. Of course, with Lynn's strength, it doesn't take so much trouble to kill the dragon. The reason for leaving the other party alone is to let those victims personally take revenge. Kill at once, it's too cheap for this rubbish. For the crimes committed in 1978, even if the evil dragon was delayed for more than 10 days, Lynn took it for granted, and it would not be excessive. Crack! Crack! After killing the evil dragon, Lynn then destroyed all the Murlocs that were still alive in the evil dragon park, leaving no one behind. He intends to leave it all to the villagers. Then he called the stunned Nami, entered the only building in Dragon Park, and looked for the money bank of the dragon pirates. He only intends to take a small part of the dragon's 1 billion berry, and most of it will be left to the villagers who have been exploited for 7 or 8 years. Next, he will go to the Grand Line and New World. The food, drink, various expenses along the way, and even ship repairs all require money, and they are not small money. So Lynn won't take any money for the sake of prestige. You still have to ensure that your own food and grass are sufficient. Under Nami's leadership, Lynn soon saw the money bank of the dragon pirates. After Lynn installed 4 to 5 billion berry in his portable space, he left Nami to deal with the rest. What? The rest will be distributed to the ruled villagers? Nami was a bit unexpected, and soon she said resolutely, "Then my 100 million berry, Mrs. Lynn, you must accept it, because you saved us." "No need, my money is enough, any more is just waste paper. Save your 100 million berry to improve your life or the life of Kokoyashi Village." Lynn shook her hand and refused. When the two came out of the money bank, Lynn found that the warship that brought her here was running away. These bastards have no skills, but their running skills are first-rate. Lynn sighed. Anyway, he originally wanted to stay in Kokoyashi Village for a while because of his prestige. Moreover, Nami and the others judge the dragons, and they also need people to hold the line. Ding! Congratulations. Host has gained 10 reputation. Ding! Congratulations, host reputation has reached 500. Ding! Congratulations, host reputation has reached 700. The next day, with the villagers of more than 20 villages holding a public trial, the evil dragon gang was executed. Lynn, who eliminated the evil dragon gang, easily reached the standard for being promoted to the 2nd level, and even exceeded it by a lot, which made him very happy. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 004. A bounty of 25 million. Recruit your first crew. Now that the evil dragon gang has been executed and received the punishment they deserved, and the billions of money have been distributed equally to the villagers under his own supervision, Lynn feels that there is no need for him to stay here. After all, he killed Colonel Mouse and has become an enemy of Marine, and the longer he stays here, the more trouble he will bring to the people here. So, he decided to set sail the next morning and leave here. But before leaving, the villagers of more than 20 villages decided to hold a lively dinner for Lynn, the benefactor. At this dinner, The bonfire was smoldering, everyone sang and danced, there was a lot of fish and meat, and there was enough wine, and they had a good time drinking. During this period, there were at least 2 figures of young beauties expressing or implying that they wanted to spend the night with Lynn through alcohol. Of course, Lynn is not Lu Xiaohui. If nothing messed with Marine, he would not refuse to spend some time with these beauties. But if you get into trouble with Marine, it's better not to be sentimental so as not to hurt others. However, even if he wanted to be affectionate, Nami came and pulled him out of the bunch of beauties. Brother Lynn? If Brother Lynn is useful to Nami in the future, please don't see outsiders. When Nami finished speaking, Lynn was a little surprised. He thought that Nami had made up his mind to go to the Grand Line with him. Who knew that Nami just thanked her deeply and didn't seem to have any intention of keeping her. Soon Lynn also figured it out. In the original book, Nami hated pirates very much. The reason why he joined the Luffy pirates was because the 100 million berry he had saved was snatched away by Colonel Mouse and could not save the village. Then in extreme desperation, Luffy stepped forward and took a stand. Transform 4? And the day before yesterday, I made an unexpected appearance, and after defeating the Dragon Pirates, I went straight to the money bank and took part of the money. That scene with Luffy was a bit of a rivalry. Not to mention that Luffy and the others still had so many entanglements with Nami. They have already formed a bond. But that doesn't matter to Lynn. Due to system restrictions, his position on the ship does not have Nami's position, although he can also bring additional Nami. The next morning, Lynn set off. Since he didn't want to trouble the villagers, he chose a small boat that could be operated by one person. Nami gave him the sea chart of the entire East Blue. If there is no mistake in the operation, the road to Logue Town seems to be not a big problem. But it didn't take long for Lynn to realize how wrong she was. Because he was on the way and encountered a storm. Without a navigator in the storm, one can imagine the fate. It's really bad luck. In the cabin of some merchant ship, Lynn groaned as she changed into dry clothes and regretted not taking Nami with her. Under the rage of the storm, his little boat was reduced to ashes and disappeared. Fortunately, with thousands of powers, he can protect himself in this ordinary storm. He was floating on the sea for a few hours with the plank in his arms, and he ran into this passing merchant ship, which was considered lucky among misfortunes. Of course, it is not easy for him to drown in the sea with thousands of power points. At this time, ding! Congratulations to host bounty reaching 25 million berry. The system prompt sounded suddenly in his mind, turning him from resentment to excitement. Marine's bounty for him has finally come out. However, he is still 5 million short of the bounty offered by the second-level captain, so he can only become the first-level captain first. Lynn was really upset about this. If Luffy defeats the dragon, there will be a bounty of 30 million. And I also killed Colonel Marine's mouse. Buy one, get one free. But it was 5 million less than Luffy. Then he thought about it, and thought that maybe without Colonel Mouse's fire, the upper management of Marine would have lowered the bounty offered to him. Or maybe the people behind Colonel Mouse have no value seeing him dead, so there is no need to get involved. It doesn't matter, it's already 25 million. If you find something to do, it's easy to get promoted. Lynn touched her nose and was about to open the door to go out, to thank the captain who ordered to salvage her up. Ding! Congratulations to host for upgrading from a 0-level captain to a first-level captain. You will be rewarded with 300 points and a treasure chest. Master host can now use the points to open the God-level recruitment function. Unexpectedly, the system would know the bounty offered by Marine before it was published in the newspaper and immediately issued the reward. Hiss! If that's the case, then I can start recruiting the first crew member? Lynn turned around and went back into the room and bolted the doorknob, a little eager for help. Of course, before that, he had to revisit the recruitment rules. God-level recruitment. 1. Recruit female crew members from myriad realms, and take the captain's own strength as the recruitment benchmark. 2. The points required for recruitment can be more or less, and can be added or subtracted through the negotiation between the captain and the candidate crew. 3. Once the contract is reached, the crew must be loyal to the captain, but there are also relative principles between the two parties. As long as you talk nonsense, people are recruited directly and then obey the captain 100%. Lynn couldn't help but sneer, but he also read some information from it. The recruited female crew members are not permanent, but a bit like employees who can be renewed and replaced when they expire. Lynn doesn't care about these rules and regulations. Instead, he is interested in being able to communicate with recruits. Based on his understanding of the myriad realms, is he afraid that the target he is looking for is not easy to catch? Maybe let the other party give me White Hit's work. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but start recruiting. System, start recruiting. Okay, Master Host, please also select your position, Master Host. The system then released a list of the 7 most basic positions on the ship. 1. Navigator 2. Chef 3. Helmsman 4. Ship Doctor 5. Sniper 6. Combatant 7. Boatman to be added. Would you like to increase it? For example, the Vice Captain Musician or something? Is this related to my level or points? Lynn touched her chin, immediately made a decision, and put forward her own conditions. Start the recruitment of navigators. The system will select suitable candidates for me, and I need someone who can control the weather. No way. It was destroyed by a storm just once, and almost died in the bottom of the sea, which made Lynn feel a little lingering. Sure enough, the navigator is an extremely important member of the pirate group, and it is not an exaggeration to say that he is the god of the sea. Okay, Master Host, please wait a moment. I am selecting and connecting you in 10,000 realms. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd. 005. Angel Fengyin Riding. After about a minute or two, the system finally responded. Host, the Myriad Realms female crew members who meet your requirements are as follows. 1. Amano Haruna, 100 points. 2. Nicole Romaluki, 120 points. 3. Fengyin Rai, 150 points. For Crystal Yuno, 30 points. The system is still working hard to search. Although there are only 3 lists, Lynn can also see some targets blocked by the system. For example, the storm in the Marvel world is very powerful in manipulating the weather, but she was brushed because of her high level of strength. Lynn is a little dissatisfied with this. Storm Girl is brushed off, but what is going on with the addition of Yuno Crystal from the Gintama world? Although this young lady is very beautiful and very popular with the citizens of this world, and she is also an Onmyoji, but it seems that she has never shown her ability to manipulate the weather. She can only predict the weather. After brushing away Crystal Yuno, among the remaining 3 candidates, Lynn began to consider. Amano Haruna, the heroine of the Children of the Weather world, is also a sunny girl, a weather witch, who has the ability to make the weather sunny again by praying. Nicole Romaluki. Even so, the world is still beautiful. The heroine of this world, the 4th princess of the Kingdom of Rain, has the ability to rain, control the wind, and fog the rain. Fengyin Rai, the all-purpose angel for weather warfare in the world of things that fell from the sky, has the ability to control all weather elements, even time and space. No matter who these 3 girls are, they are all excellent in terms of appearance, figure, temperament, and quality, and the required recruitment points are similar. But if you only choose based on ability, there is no doubt that the powerful Fengyin Rai is far ahead, and she is also the existence that Lynn wanted to choose when she saw the name at the first sight. After all, the first 2 are still in the category of mortals, but Fengyin Rai is an angel. But Fengyin's day and current state are not very ideal. She is now in a chaotic initial state. It seems that there is no entity, but it is not entirely correct to say that it is just data and soul. Judging from the information of the system, is Fengyin Rai in the state before being resurrected by the protagonist Jishu? And a lot of data and memory has been lost. This unexpected situation surprised Lynn very much. I don't know if the system has interfered in it. If you choose Fengyin Rai, you can get a girl in normal human form, but it's hard to say whether you can activate her angel ability at any time. On the other hand, Hina Amano and Nicole Romaluki are existences that can output stably. So Lynn is a little torn. Suddenly, he had a flash of inspiration, thought of something, and quickly asked the system. Return to Master Host. System points can indeed make Fengyin Rai grow. That's good. Let's choose Fengyin Rai. After Lynn got a positive reply, she immediately made a decision. Master Host, please be careful. System points are extremely useful. If you choose Fengyin Rai, other aspects may be possible. Stop talking nonsense. I want her. Lynn interrupted the system's persuasion and was firm in her choice. In fact, there is another reason why Lynn chose so resolutely. Yin Rai, who is in a state of chaos, seems to have no bargaining power. After that, the treatment and so on, isn't it suitable for his capital? Ahem, Captain? Okay, my master host, as you wish, consume 150 points. The connection is successful, and the cross-boundary transmission is in progress. Host, please wait a moment. Yin Rai, 0-year-old, chest 82, waist 49, hip 80, Lynn's navigator. All kinds of detailed information that came to mind made Lynn speechless. But judging from the information about the 0-year-old, Yin Rai is more like reborn in this world and has nothing to do with before. For a while, Lynn felt that she had the illusion of an old father. An extra daughter? I hope this child can live happily here and not have to suffer those hardships. Lynn was secretly thinking, but suddenly a golden light flashed in front of his eyes, which made him almost unable to open his eyes. In the golden light, a magnificent door to the starry sky was opening rapidly, and then a naked girl walked out of it. Universal Angel for Weather Warfare, Yin Rai. The girl has beautiful facial features and a proud figure. Her waist-length dark blue hair flutters in the breeze, making her look like a fairy who descended from the sky. She is indeed the most beautiful school belle in the original book, the one most boys in the school want to be girlfriends. You? Are you the captain who revived me? Yin Rai's face blushed slightly and said softly. Her voice is extremely gentle and pleasant, like a clear spring in the forest or a ying on a tree. For some reason, although Lynn was her first meeting, there was an inexplicable intimacy for her. But Lynn secretly sighed. I have to say that the real person of Yin Rai is much more beautiful than the ones in anime and manga. In addition, very gentle and kind, approachable, very active, very friendly to everyone, always think of others before oneself, and will give up his life for others, this original character design. Therefore, Lynn thinks that Yin Rai is not perfect, but it is the closest to the perfect ceiling. Put on your clothes first. These are my clothes. When the boat docks, I'll buy you what you like. After recovering, Lynn quickly took out her clean clothes from the portable space and put them on for her. Fortunately, it wasn't Icarus. Otherwise, Lynn felt that her nosebleed would be overwhelming. Although Yin Rai was still a little shy and timid, he also mustered up the courage to ask Lynn about this and that everything about this world. She was like a dry sponge, trying to absorb everything. Beautiful and kind, well-behaved and hardworking. It's not too perfect. If I have such a daughter in the future, it will be quite worry-free. Lynn's inexplicable thought made him cast aside immediately. What are you thinking? This is the crew. You, Lynn, will be part of the ship. P.S. As for some data, the author exploded overnight. The illustration shows Kazan Hiyori. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 006. Open the treasure chest. Turn on Demeter. When it was time for dinner, Lynn didn't show up with Yin Rai. After all, this change of life will definitely cause commotion on this merchant ship. After Lynn gave the ship owner 5 million berry as a thank you gift, she returned with a few hearty meals and a lot of fruit pies. Yin Rai is not picky about food. After clasping his palms together to salute, he started happily. The way he eats is very elegant. Half a day later, the merchant ship anchored at what appeared to be a busy island and began unloading some of its cargo. Knowing that there are boats for sale on this island, Lynn and the two bid farewell to the owner of the boat here. I haven't seen that girl. Is she a friend of Mr. Lynn's? She's so pretty. Looking at the backs of Lynn and the two in the distance, the dull ship owner suddenly realized that something was wrong. The crew next to him were a little speechless. Mr. Lynn, but the captain, you are an old man who was rescued from the storm. How could you have friends who are traveling with you? Lynn took Yin Rai to the shopping street on this island for half a day and bought several sets of clothes of various styles for Yin Rai. Although shopping is a torment for most men, of course, it also depends on who is traveling with them. Anyway, Lynn thinks it's not bad. It's very pleasing to watch Yinri and this beauty change into all kinds of beautiful clothes, showing a variety of eye-catching styles. Probably beautiful and delicious, that's all. Even though Yin Rai is relatively simple by nature, He only chooses low to medium price clothes. If Lynn hadn't forced packing, I'm afraid it wouldn't cost much. Master Captain, it cost you so much money. Although Fengyin Rai was very happy, she was also a little uneasy. And, if you feel sorry, I will work hard for the captain in the future. Lynn smiled at Cade. Okay, definitely. Fengyin Rai shook his small fists, with a serious expression on his face, as if he had made a promise. Lynn stored some daily necessities in the portable space, and then went to the shipyard on the other side of the pier. He wants to customize a ship with the other party, then go to Lode Town, enter the Grand Line. Then, for the next days of his stay, he would let Fengyin Rai feel and use his abilities. After Fengyin Day and transforming into the Battle Angel form, two powerful equipment can be activated. One is Demeter, her original weapon system. That is, the Demeter Weather Jammer, which can control all kinds of weather. The other is even more terrifying and powerful, Kaido, which can interfere with time and space. At that time, behind Fengyin Rai, there will be a huge cross surrounded by a large circle and some large gears, like a strange clock device. Lynn dare not expect Fengyin Rai to control Kaido in one step. As long as Fengyin Rai can activate the power of Demeter and interfere with some extreme weather over the boat, Lynn feels that this wave of points is worth spending. Yes, Lynn spent another 100 points during this period, allowing the system to strengthen the overall strength of Fengyin Rai. When he was first recruited, Fengyin Rai's angelic power was about 3% of what it used to be. After this enhancement, it directly increased to 8%. Allowing Fengyin Rai to sense the Demeter hidden in his body, the presence for Lynn's request. Fengyin Rai, whose heart is as pure as a piece of white paper, naturally regards it as his top priority and works very hard for it. At the same time, she did not forget that she is a navigator, so Lynn bought a lot of books on navigation and various charts to study hard. However, Fengyin Rai's efforts surprised Lynn, because Fengyin Rai worked so hard that he didn't sleep for an hour or two a day. At this time, she is like an angel in a battle state. All day long, she is either learning navigation knowledge or trying to activate Demeter. Go all out. Nothing left. Hayo, don't be too tired. Take a break and eat some fruit. Hayo, here's a cup of warm milk. Hayori, let me give you a squeeze on your shoulders to relax. Hi, don't just stay at home and read books, paintings, and charts. Let's go for a walk and take a breath. Instead, Lynn walked around to take care of her, fearing that she would be tired. This made Lynn himself have an illusion. Why did he act as if he was the parent of a student about to take the college entrance examination? However, Fengyin Rai's efforts made Lynn a little ashamed. Should he also take the opportunity to improve his strength? Although he now has 1,000 power, it is only limited to being tyrannical in East Blue. Once you enter the Grand Line, there will be a cloud of strong players. This level of combat power is also the level of a Marine Rear Admiral, and it may not even be able to beat an ordinary Vice Admiral. Moreover, without physical moves and skills in hand, if you only fight with brute force, your level will be compromised. System. What can 50 points be exchanged for? Lynn can only go to the system. Sorry, Master Host. Due to your level, you haven't reached the standard to open the system store, so the points can only be temporarily used on your own or living crew. But you still have a reward chest that hasn't been opened yet. The system's response made Lynn a little disappointed at first, and then delighted. If the system didn't prompt, he really forgot. This made him a little embarrassed. Ever since he recruited Fengyin Rai, his thoughts were all on this little girl. I can only blame Fengyin Rai for being too amazing. System. Open the treasure chest. Lynn couldn't wait. Ding! The reward treasure box in the portable space was quickly opened, and Lynn saw a group of 6-color lights flying out of it, and then flew directly into her mind. This? Marine 6 styles? Worrying that there are no gymnastic moves, and they will be delivered to your door soon. Lynn doesn't know what to say. But at this time, he was speechless. He is in a crash state. At this time, a huge amount of training data was stuffed into his mind, allowing him to completely control Marine 6 styles in a short period of time. This also includes high-level use of life return and 6 king guns, etc. At this second, Lynn is like a powerful person who has practiced Marine 6 styles for decades. He can use every move and style like his arms and fingers, and he can understand even the deepest mysteries, Lynn roughly estimates. With the addition of Marine 6 styles, my combat power can increase by at least 50% to 60%, even if he can't reach the level of Marine Vice Admiral. Ordinary Vice Admiral should be unable to help him. Deep in the dense forest of the island, there is an open grassland tens of meters away. At this time, Lynn followed Rai and was on it. After these days of training, the two of them are going to verify the results in this inaccessible place. Lynn starts first. Shay, whoosh! With a thought in Lynn's mind, his body reacted immediately, making him disappear out of thin air in an instant. Phoo! In the next second, somewhere tens of meters away, Lynn's figure appeared. That's shaving in Marine 6 styles. In an instant, 0.36 seconds, he stepped on the ground dozens of times at high speed in a row and moved at a high speed with the help of the explosive reaction force generated. The speed was so fast, in the eyes of ordinary people, it seemed to disappear out of thin air. Immediately afterwards, as soon as Lynn appeared, she locked onto the side of a huge rock more than 10 meters away and kicked it. Zhang! Suddenly, there was a sharp sound of chopping, and a 20 to 30 centimeters long blade-shaped light suddenly shot out from Lynn's toes more than 10 centimeters away and instantly slashed to the huge rock. Crack! A huge rock as hard as steel was cut in half by this blade-shaped light. In front of this blade-shaped light, the giant rock is as fragile as tofu. Boom! The light blade continued to slash, and it stopped after several hundred-year-old trees that could not be surrounded by 2 or 3 people. Marine 6 styles Tempest Kick. It can kick out powerful foot skills that are no less than sword slashing. Obviously, this is not Lynn's full strength. Brother Lynn is amazing. Rai hurriedly clapped and cheered excitedly in the distance, looking like a little girl. Okay, it's Hiyori's turn to you. Lynn folded her hands on her chest and said with a smile. Up! Rai clenched his small fists and V responded. Seeing her getting serious, Lynn also became a little nervous. The legendary meteorological weapon Demeter finally gets to see it. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 007. Terrifying celestial weapons. White Hunter Smoker. Here is a bit of clarification. In the last chapter, some changes were made to Rai's angelic abilities. You can refresh and read. I made some mistakes about Rai. Sorry. The author June has already spent time looking through the manga. Also, there is only Demeter in the comics, and Katie Rose is original in the anime. I added it here. Hope everyone knows when Rai was recruited, he was just a chaotic state similar to a soul, without entity. And the 150 points Lynn used for recruitment were all used to reshape her body. The brand new body shaped by the system allows her to switch freely between the human body and the angel form. And as Lynn strengthens Rai's points, this aspect will become more and more perfect. In other words, Rai is now a living person and is no longer the cold smart weapon in the original book. Because of the system, her angel fighting ability was preserved. Zila Rai put her hands together on her chest and closed her eyes, as if she was praying. But there were strange sounds surging around her, and there was a radiance flowing around her body, making her seem to be bathed in holy light. And the next second, wow! On the back of Rai, there is a large gold copper gear with 2 wings flying above, and a pair of large pale pink wings quickly extend out of it, very elegant and clear. At the same time, long feather-like devices appeared behind her ears and on her shoulders, and the clothes on her body were also changed into a light purple and dark purple skirt with a wide, open V at the front. But the most eye-catching thing is the stick-shaped weapon that appeared in her hand. The top of the stick is like a crescent moon, half purple and half yellow. Inside the crescent moon are 3 rings of different sizes, and under the crescent moon are 3.5 pieces small purple or yellow wings drooping. This rod-shaped weapon is the Demeter that Lynn is thinking about. Successful again. It seems that this girl is not far away from mastering Demeter. Lynn nodded approvingly. Before that, the success rate of Rai's transformation into an angel was only half. But in the past 2 days it has reached 70% to 80%. Demeter, Funan Hiyori, who became an angel. immediately activated Demeter. I saw streaks of electric light emanating from various parts of the crescent moon on the top of the staff, converging in the middle and condensing into a purple light ball. As Demeter was lifted high by foaming Rai, she burst in a dazzling splendor. But the sky above changed in an instant. There were black clouds billowing, lightning crisscrossing strong winds, and even a small tornado formed in it. In another second, the pouring rain poured down, blurring the sky and the earth. The range of Demeter's influence is almost 10 miles in radius. TSK, this is only 8% of the angel's power. If it recovers to 100%, wouldn't that be a walking disaster? Lynn was secretly amazed. At least it's not much worse than the white beard on top. It seems that my choice is correct, and I have found a treasure. Little Hiyori, it's fine. Soon, Lynn shouted to stop. The purpose of today's verification has been achieved, and if it continues, it will only attract attention and cause unnecessary trouble. On the way back, Lynn casually asked Xiaonizi, "How long can the current control of Demeter last?" "Half an hour." Xiaonizi's pretty face was obviously full of pride. At the same time, she was still looking at Lynn with wide eyes, and the desire in her was very obvious. "Praise me. Praise me. Praise me quickly. My Zyra is so powerful. I need to reward you well. Let's go to the bookstore later and buy you some more sets of nautical books and charts." Lynn stroked her little head fondly. Foaming Rai was very useful at first, but when he heard his last words, he jumped out like a frightened rabbit. "No, I want teppanyaki. I want chicken drumsticks and honey sauce. No nautical books." Haha. The next day, the two of Lynn left the island in a special boat and headed towards Logtown. On the way, Lynn found that her reputation was still rising, and now it has risen to 7,800. It is only 2,200 away from the 1,000 required to be promoted to a level 3 captain. It seems that the matter of his extermination of the dragon pirates has been spread by many people, and it is no longer limited to the 20-odd villages. I don't know if there are any media published 1 or 2. If there is media to fuel the flames, wouldn't it be a higher level? As soon as Lynn thought of this, a flash of inspiration suddenly appeared in his mind. With his help, the reputation can definitely be raised like this. Lynn was a little excited and even clapped her hands for this sudden thought. At this moment, he thought of someone. Morgan's. This product is one of the 4 dark Uranus of New World and has the only media, such as World Economic News. If you can borrow the other party's resources, it will not be too easy to gain this reputation. Of course, it is not easy to find this product. After all, it has offended the world government and has been hunted down by the world government all the year round. It's still far away. We'll have a look when we go to New World. Well, why isn't the bounty going up? Lynn moved on to the bounty. The prestige has almost reached the standard of a level 3 captain, but the bounty is still at level 1, which makes him very upset. Just short of 5 million. Just yesterday, he secretly used the remaining 50 points on Foaming Rai, making his angel power reach 10%. Now, he's already worthless, but for Fenji Inri and faster growth, he needs more points. Therefore, the 1,000 points that can only be obtained by being promoted to the 2nd level captain are very urgent. Why don't you go to Marine and do something? Oh, don't blame me for being ruthless. It's you, Marine, who forced me to be like this. He secretly thought helplessly. East Blue Marine Chapter 19. This is a small branch of Marine, which is set up at the Golden Waterway dozens of miles away from Logtown, guarding the throat of this waterway. It is a small branch of the Logtown Marine branch, and it relies heavily on each other with the Logtown Marine. At this time, a burly young man with short silver hair, naked torso, and only a coat with the word justice on the back was looking at the ruins in front of him with anger, and his face was extremely gloomy. Tell me, well, which BD did this? Smoker, Colonel Marine, a person with the ability to smoke fruit, is also the chief officer in charge of guarding Logtown in this branch. Whoever Rin is, a branch under his command has been taken over. Even if it is a small branch, he will not have a good face. Back to Colonel Smoker, he said his name was Lynn, and that he became like this because we Marine forced him to book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 008. Smoker is mad. Promoted to the second-level captain. By the way, he also said that the reason why he became a pirate was forced by us Marine. A major hurried up and said, this time it was too miserable. The good branch was blown into ruins. Although no one was killed, it was a great shame after all. When did the pirates of East Blue dare to be so arrogant and dare to take the initiative to hit Marine in the face? Marine, but the overlord of the sea. What the hell? It's a mess. Smoker lit a cigar, frowning. He didn't have much impression of the name Lynn. Generally speaking, he doesn't have much impression. They are basically chickens and dogs, not to mention, especially in the East Blue of the weakest sea. Those who are not famous are even weaker. However, since he has stepped on his own head, then this account has to be calculated with interest. His reputation as a white hunter is not in vain. I don't know how many powerful thieves fell into his hands. Colonel Smoker, we found out that this Lynn is the pirate who killed Colonel Mouse a few days ago, and his bounty is 25 million. Another Marine came with Lynn's reward notice. I see. Smoker accepted the reward notice and grinned. The hunting game? Start now. He's the most enthusiastic about being a garbage pirate. Colonel Smoker. The major in charge here hesitated to speak at this moment. Say what you have to say. Don't be a mother-in-law. Smoker was already a little angry. Seeing him like this, he immediately reprimanded him. Yes. Back to Colonel, if I read correctly, what Lynn used to destroy our branch seems to be our Marine 6 Styles Tempest Kick. After the major was reprimanded, immediately Cade. Marine 6 Styles? Tempest Kick. Are you sure you read it right? Smoker was a little overwhelmed. Although Marine 6 Styles has the word Marine, but cultivation is difficult, and the level is so high that ordinary Marines are not qualified to practice. Even he, Smoker, has only mastered shaving and iron body at present, and has not mastered all 6 styles. Of course, Marine 6 Styles is powerful and famous, so there will be people other than Marine who covet it and try their best to obtain the method of cultivation. There are Marine 6 Styles leaks, but those guys will never be in East Blue. Is that Lynn a Marine trader? Smoker thought of a possibility. Besides, Lynn also said that if you have a chance to meet Colonel Smoker, you will let the Colonel know what the real Marine 6 Styles are. He said that the 6 styles we practiced in Marine are all rubbish. It's an insult to 6 forms. He really can't stand it. If there is a chance, he still wants to be the chief instructor of our Marine and correct it. The subordinate's words finally completely ignited Smoker's anger. Everyone cancels their holidays, mobilizes all, and calls other branches of East Blue, Pirate Hunters Guild, and eyeliners everywhere. I, Smoker, want to get news of Lynn as soon as possible. Of course, they can also bring this Lynn's head to meet me and offer a reward of 50 million. Smoker let out a big puff of smoke and decided to raise that damn Lynn's bounty to the limit he could set. Colonel Smoker raised the bounty. It's going through East Blue headquarters, but a bespectacled beauty behind him didn't quite agree with his approach. Marine Chao Chong Tashiji. She usually follows Smoker's side and also serves as a secretary. She and Smoker are usually outspoken, so she quickly reminded Smoker of this private decision. Although the proposal of offering a reward of 50 million is very hopeful, the relevant process still has to go. Otherwise, it would be bad to be caught by the top. Tashiji has a bit of a headache about this. My Colonel Smoker, with your talent, has been transferred from the Grand Line to East Blue. Why don't you be more conspicuous? Although Smoker has offended many people in Marine, he doesn't care about 1 or 2 more. Tashiji, forget about these minutiae. Come on, let's go after this BD. Smoker waved his hand and left directly. According to known information, this guy named Lynn is heading towards Logtown and seems to be going to the Grand Line. Bing is very fast. He wants to stop the opponent in Logtown as soon as possible. On the route to Logtown, a special boat is riding the wind and waves quickly. On the bow, Lynn followed Fengyin Rai. Brother Lynn, isn't this very good? Isn't Marine a symbol of justice? Why do we have to fight against them? Fengyin Rai was still a little bit sorry for what happened not long ago. Although Lynn is her only support, she is regarded as a close relative. But this kind-hearted woman still couldn't bear to rush to demolish other people's houses. And Lynn is going to become a pirate, which makes her a little puzzled, who has learned about Marine knowledge from books. Sure enough, it's still that Hiyori, too kind and simple. Lynn patted her head, and then told her about Colonel Mouse in Kokoyashi Village and what celestial dragons usually do. It turns out that there are good people and bad people in Marine. This world is very complicated, but the source of all evil is the celestial dragons. So, Brother Lynn wants to become a pirate and stand opposite Marine in order to overthrow the rule of celestial dragons. After hearing this, Fomin Rai's face was stunned, and he clenched his fists again and said in a bit of annoyance, "Hey, don't make up your mind. When did I say that I would overthrow the rule of celestial dragons? My ultimate goal is to complete the only task of the system and become the strongest pirate group, not to liberate the world. Your brother Lynn is not that great, nor does he have that much energy." Lynn was a little speechless about the divergence of her thinking, but he was soon moved by Fomin Ri and the following words. "Okay, even if my brother wants to be an enemy of the world, Hiyori, I will definitely stand by my brother. Hiyori is willing to be the one who will accompany my brother to the end." Seeing her serious and swearing face, what else can Lynn say? She can only rub her head vigorously, making her narrow her eyes like a crescent moon. Based on this remark, Lynn felt that it was worth spending more of her points on Xiao Rai. Sudden ding! Congratulations, Master Host's bounty has been increased to 50 million, meeting the upgrade requirements. Since the prestige requirements have been met, your captain's level will be upgraded from level 1 to level 2. Hey, this smoker is really the same as the setting in the original book. It is so willful and hot. I really appreciate Lynn. The prompt sound from the system in his head made the corners of Lynn's mouth curl into a smile. Everything is under control. For tickets, 20,000 words have been updated on the first day, and I will strive for at least 10,000 words a day or even 20,000 words. Ask for some data to support the power of code words. Thank you, book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 009. The second crew member. Rich Rem, or no money Erina, of course. This is just the beginning. Next, he will spend more bounties and prestige on Smoker. After all, Smoker's fiery temper is easy to take advantage of. No need. Congratulations to Mr. Host for being promoted to the second level captain. A special reward of 1,000 points, a treasure chest, and recruitment quota X2. The rewards from the system arrived soon, and Lynn was overjoyed. So she handed over the control of the ship to Fomin Rai and went back to the cabin room by herself. Next, he will open treasure chests and recruit new crew members. First-level captains have only one quota for recruiting crew members, while second-level captains, third to fourth level, have 2 quotas. Before, he also thought that there was no limit to recruitment based on points, but he didn't know that it wouldn't work. It was also the same, so he spent all the remaining points on Fomin Rai. At present, there are already navigators and the choice cannot be repeated, so the next step is to choose from 1. Chef 2, Helmsman 3, Ship Doctor 4, Sniper 5, Combatant 6. Boatman selected from these 6 positions. Xiao Hiyori and I have combatants, navigators, and helmsmen. Then the sniper, the ship doctor, and the cook are left. Lynn touched her chin and quickly deleted the 3 options. With Xiao Rai in his own physique, it seems that he doesn't really need a ship's doctor. Can I choose another temporarily? Lynn crossed off the ship doctor again. Okay, it's the chef and the sniper. Choose the chef, of course. Lynn made a choice quickly. After all, he came across from Blue Star's biggest foodie country. Whether to eat well or not is very important to him. Moreover, it's a long journey, and I don't know how many years I will have to spend in this world. If there is no qualified chef to accompany me during this period, Lynn feels that even if he can become the One Piece, it seems meaningless, especially in the past few days after tasting the so-called delicacies here. He felt that his tongue was much duller. We must find a great chef. System, pick me a top-notch chef. Lynn immediately gave the system an order. Received. Master Host, please wait a moment. I am living in the Master Host's strength to link the myriad realms and choose a suitable chef. Is there a powerful chef who can fight and cook, and it's cheap? Because she picked up Fomin Day and this big deal first, Lynn fantasized happily. A few minutes later, ding, Master Host has been waiting for a long time. and the current candidates are as follows. 1. Abe, 220 points. 2. Yi Jiao, 150 points. 3. Nakiri Erina, 5 points. 4. Rem, 500 points. 5. Nanchuanxiang, 50 points. 6. Nakano Nino, 100 points. 7. Tomoyo Sakagami, 80 points. This system is still working hard to search. There are actually 7? And they're still increasing. Lynn's eyes lit up. It seems that the requirements are a little lower this time, and the scope of the audition is much wider. And the list here is all Lynn is familiar with, and some even like it very much. If you don't care about your own combat power, the top cooks here should be Abe and Nakiri Erina. Others, that is, good levels, are not top-notch. Abe is a super chef in the world of Chinese little masters, with the best strength, and also the mother of the male protagonist Lu Maoxing. As for Nakiri Erina, she is the heroine in the world of Spirit of the Halberd Eater, possessing the tongue of God and top-notch cooking skills that the hero can't win until the end of the play. But if you want to add combat power, then Rem's advantage will come up again. Rem is one of the heroines in Life in Otherworld from Zero. She has the blood of ghosts, has a lot of combat power, and can also increase her strength by turning into ghosts. At the same time, Rem is also a little expert in housework. Thinking of Rem's strong housework ability, Lynn almost couldn't help making a decision. And this is Rem. When he was in Blue Star, he was the dream lover of many boys. If love has a color, it must be blue. For a while, it was even more popular. Undoubtedly, Rem met Lynn's requirements as a strong chef, but the recruitment fee was much higher, and it cost 500 points. This made Lynn hesitate. Points are a good thing. If you can save a little bit, plus your own Xiao Rai is still growing up, you will need a lot of points later. Master Host, please pay attention. Rem has expressed a refusal and closed the recruitment channel. But at this moment, the system reminded Lynn a little confused. How could it be like this? System, you don't seem to be very good at it? Master Host, sometimes the recruitment will change due to the situation of the other party. You can continue to choose to communicate with the rejected target across dimensions and let them re-enter the options. The system reminded. Forget it. I'm too lazy to communicate. Just this Nakiri Erina. Anyway, there will be a chance to recruit my baby Rem in the future. Lynn didn't know what happened to Rem suddenly, but he didn't have the interest and energy to find out. So he chose the cheap and good quality Nakiri Erina. Of course, if he has enough points in the future and the environment is relatively harsh, Rem, who has combat effectiveness, will be his new choice. After all, Nakiri Erina basically has no combat effectiveness now. Okay, Master Host, a cross-boundary connection is in progress. The system processed it immediately and sent it, still shining with golden light. The magnificent star gate opened, and an extremely beautiful blonde girl walked out of it very quickly. It's Nakiri Erina wearing the short skirt of Tatsuki Academy's school uniform. It made her even more invincible. Nakiri Erina's appearance is still higher than that of Fomin Hayori. Because she is from a famous family and is the eldest lady of the family, she has a noble and gorgeous temperament, as if the queen is coming, which makes people feel a little bit at first glance. Dazzling. I have to say, this girl is too perfect. However, Lynn looked at the Nakiri Erina in front of her a few more times and felt that she seemed to be younger than her impression, but there was a lot more youthful and lively atmosphere. When is this Nakiri Erina? It seems that she is a little younger than the 16-year-old at the beginning of the original book, 14 years old, or 15 years old. Wait, did she develop so well at that age? Huh? Isn't it a prank? As soon as Nakiri Erina appeared, she first looked around with a pair of beautiful eyes, then covered her mouth with her small hands, and let out a beautiful exclamation. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time, April 29th to May 3rd, 010. Convince Erina. Open the treasure chest. Nakiri Erina's exclamation made Lynn understand why she was so cheap. She thought it was a prank, then randomly quoted a price. And don't even talk about salary or treatment. This BD. Lynn wanted to laugh but held back. If you take advantage of it and still act in front of others, this kind of behavior is too beaten. So it is. Damn it. Soon, Nakiri Erina got the relevant explanation from the Lynn system and said a little angrily with her hips on her hands. It has to be said that this Tsundere queen looks very cute even when she is annoyed. It's beautiful and delicious. That's all it is. Even if she doesn't cook, it will be a great enjoyment just to let people appreciate it. No, no, no. Food is the most important thing. Capital, Captain. How can you not let the crew work? The struggle in Lynn's heart was immediately decided. A peerless beauty doesn't need to work on her own boat. That's impossible. You must know that your precious daughter is working 2 jobs, navigator and helmsman. Captain, my lord, is there a way for me to go back? Before Lynn could speak, Nakiri Erina said with a bad face. There is no doubt that she was born noble, arrogant by nature, and she looked down on common people's cooking at the beginning of the original book. How could she accept that she had to cook for a stranger for many years? She is the eldest lady of the Nakiri family, under 1 person, above 10,000. Tagetsu Academy's God's tongue. She has never been the only one who tastes the top-level delicacies created by gourmet masters in order to win her a smile or praise. How can she fall into serving others with her own hands? Even at the end of the original book, she who has changed her mind will not accept it. Hateful. At this time, Nakiri Erina secretly scolded herself for being careless 10 minutes ago. Today's incident was too unexpected and unreasonable. She faintly felt that it would be difficult to be kind. Lynn, however, shrugged and shook her head in refusal. How can a big fish that is hooked be put back into the water after being caught, unless the brain is flooded? Nakiri Erina gritted her teeth secretly and then offered a price. If you can let me go back, I am willing to pay 10 million as your reward. 10 million is not a small amount. It can be said that most of her small coffers. I'm not short of money, but I'm short of a chef. Lynn still shook her head. 100 million. I won't call the police either. Act like nothing happened. Nakiri Erina doubled the amount tenfold. Lynn smiled and remained silent. Don't go too far. Be careful, I'll call the police. And don't force me to do it, I know karate. Seeing that money can't move the opponent, Nakiri Erina can only put on a martial arts air. She really knows how to do it twice. Although she is not very strong, she thinks she still has a chance to escape. Puff! However, the next moment, Lynn was directly in front of her, cutting off a corner of the thick wooden table like cutting tofu. Forehead! Nakiri Erina was stunned. This kind of force value should only appear in TV novels or comics. Confused, she even went to check if the thick wooden table and the cut corner were fake. Don't look, let alone the table. Even if it's granite, I can split it with 1 palm. By the way, if you promise to be my chef, I can help you cut thistles. Lynn naturally knew what the weakness in her heart was, and after showing off her strength to intimidate the opponent, she threw Wong Bo directly. How did you know? Lynn's words made Nakiri Erina even more confused. How? How do you know? Her father, because of the brainwashing power education she had given her when she was a child, made her childhood no joy at all, so she has always been the deepest shadow in her heart. Thanks to my grandfather who discovered it in time, it didn't cause a catastrophe. Although she has gradually got rid of this shadow over the years, and her life has begun to clear up, once touched, she still feels unable to breathe. Her complexion obviously changed from cloudy to sunny, and her frightened look was seen in Lynn's eyes. It seems that the younger Nakiri Erina, before meeting the male protagonist Yao Wang and those little friends, was obviously weak in heart. You should also know what the world you are in now is like. After you really see the splendor of this world, what a mere cut thistle is. Lynn stretched out her hand and invited, "Come on, Erina, be my chef. As long as you become my chef and bear my name on your back, this sea is yours to gallop. I promise to get you the best and most top-notch ingredients." Well, yes, but in addition to your promise just now, I still need to receive a monthly salary of 10 points. Nakiri Erina glanced secretly, and when something that could be exchanged for points suddenly appeared in her mind, she added a condition. "Oh no, Miss Nakiri, you don't know the value of points at all. I can only give you a monthly salary of 5 points at most." Lynn is the owner of the system, so she naturally knows the actions of the system on Nakiri Erina's side. I have to say, the system is still awesome. The system even directly put some of the top quality recipes and dishes of Chinese Little Master, even the ones from The Captive of Gourmet. Obviously, This lady with the tongue of God has developed a strong interest in these dishes that can only be regarded as the best if they glow. Moreover, the exchange price given by the system does not seem to be low. In this case, Nakiri Erina has to work hard on her own boat in order to accumulate enough points to redeem. What a system! What a capitalist! Bah! Although Lynn was disgusted on the surface, she was happy in her heart. A noble and tsundere peerless beauty has to serve her 3 meals all day long. No matter how you look at it, it is something that most men envy. By the way, let me introduce you. Now that the deal has been settled, Lynn takes Nakiri Erina out to meet Kaz and Hiyori and let them get to know each other. It's just that Lynn didn't expect that Yin Rai was very happy about the arrival of Nakiri Erina. Not only did he throw the rudder to him, but he also turned into a guide, taking Nakiri Erina around and giving various enthusiastic introductions. I'd become redundant instead. Lynn scratched her head, feeling a little remorseful. However, he took advantage of this opportunity to secretly open the treasure chest for upgrade rewards. Marine 6 Styles was released in the treasure chest last time. What will it be this time? Lynn would like a strong devil fruit if possible. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 011. Max Armament Hockey. Restaurant on the Sea. Ask for tickets at the 3rd watch. Ding. Congratulations, Master Host. You have obtained Armament Hockey, full level. Although Lynn wanted a devil fruit, but the system didn't make it as he wished, but Lynn was pleasantly surprised by what came out. Armament Hockey. One of the 3 classifications of hockey. Hockey, which can improve its own defense and attack power, can capture Logia's elemental body by practicing it. If you only get the hockey, there is no surprise. But now it's Armament Hockey at max level. What concept? In the world of pirates, Armament Hockey is the top and most powerful, and Marine Hero Garp is definitely one of them. It is even possible none of them, that is to say, Lynn's Armament Hockey has reached Garp's level all of a sudden. Reached the top. Of course, given that he only has more than 1,000 power points. Even with the full level Armament Hockey in his hand, he cannot fully utilize it. But, boom! At the moment when the full level Armament Hockey was obtained, the long-lost feeling of washing tendons and cutting marrow came again. I also felt this pain when I obtained 1,000 power points before. But that time only lasted for a short time, and it would not be an exaggeration to say that it was fleeting. This time it was obviously much stronger than last time. At the same time, all kinds of information about the full-level Armament Hockey were also churning in his mind, which made him feel dizzy. Fortunately, although the pain was worse, it didn't last long. After about a few minutes, the pain subsided, and Lynn found himself taking a shower again. This time it was a deeper cleansing of the tendons and marrow. Almost all the impurities hidden in the depths of the body were washed out, and his physical fitness was more thoroughly improved. Lynn can even use the function of the system to see the evaluation of her power value, which has reached 4,000 at this time. Before, because of Marine 6 Styles, his power value increased by several hundred, but this time it increased by more than 2,000, which is really scary. The full-level Armament Hockey has such an amazing bonus to physical fitness. But think about the definition of Armament Hockey in the original book. This is normal. It's so cool. Lynn clenched her fist and let the black Armament Hockey cover it in an instant, feeling the amazing energy inside, and following the flow of her own mind, various changes, a little uncontrollable excitement. The most important thing is, when you face the enemies of Logia ability users in the future, you don't have to worry about how to deal with them. As soon as she thought about it, a person appeared in Lynn's mind. Oh, Smoker, you're really unlucky. This made him couldn't help but sigh. After opening the treasure chest and getting the full-level Armament Hockey, Lynn realized that she could summon a new crew member after being excited. With the most urgently needed chef, Lynn is not in a hurry to continue recruiting. Anyway, there are plenty of points. Wait for a while to see which position is really needed, and then talk about it. Next, it's time to brush Smoker. Of course, Lynn doesn't expect to gain much reputation and rewards from a trash like Smoker. Anyway, he's going to use Smoker to let his name spread among Marine's top management, forming some memory fragments. Then when doing big things in the future, These high-level officials can be generous to their new rewards. Lynn, although the galley equipment on your ship is new, it's really not good. And your galley is a bit small. Not long after, Nakiri Erina came over and complained a bit. She wanted to see the galley on the ship, but she was not satisfied after going around. This is quite different from her general equipment in Yuanyue Academy. This is absolutely unbearable for her, who usually has high demands. Is that so? Why don't we go to Logtown? Let's go to the trade market there together. There is no upper limit on the budget. Lynn expressed her understanding and made a bold promise. However, Nakiri Erina shook her head and refused. The equipment in your world may not be as good as ours. Then what do you mean? Give me some points. I can use the points to exchange for the exact same equipment on my side. Huh? You can change this too? How much do you want? 50? Oh no, 100. Lynn readily agreed and immediately transferred the points to her. To be honest, Lynn also has little expectations. I don't know if I can eat the legendary delicacy that can explode clothes in the future. It's a pity that I don't have the culinary skills of Yao Wang's father. Otherwise, it would be a bit fun to let your god tongue explode. Oh yes, in the future, if the ship is full of female crew, I will let you cut Erina's ancestral. It will be more fun if the stun is activated. Speaking of explosive clothes, Lynn almost got excited. Because the Nakiri family has the ancestral skill of exploding clothing. Others' clothing explosion is only a single body, but the Nakiri family's is a large-scale attack, and the surging mental power can drive multiple explosions with one explosion. This is incredible. It's incredible. When Lynn thought about this, she also felt that there was a lot to do. It was also at this moment that he felt that the value of Nakiri Erina in his heart had been greatly sublimated. Ahem. Such a thing is not something an upright captain should think about. Soon Lynn disliked this slightly dirty idea. At this time, Fengyin Rai's voice suddenly came. Brother Lynn, come out and see. It's such a big boat. Lynn heard the words and hurried out to the bow to have a look. No, I saw a huge ship moored several miles away. Even though it was so far away, it still made people feel huge. It has a fish-shaped bow at both ends, which Lynn finds very familiar. After a while, Lynn guessed what the giant ship was. See Restaurant Bardi. It is also the place where Sanji, one of the three giants in the early stage of the Straw Hat, is located in the original book. Erina, we won't cook today. Let's go out to eat. Also, by the way, I will take you to meet the top chefs in this world. Lynn turned her head and shouted into the cabin. Go out to eat? Are you sure? A senior chef in this world? Nakiri Erina, who was still tinkering with equipment in the kitchen, was a little upset when he said he was going out to eat. But after hearing the words of the senior chef, she also became a little interested. She hadn't tasted anything out of this world since being recruited by Lynn. Just try it out and see what level it is. Wow, how do you change clothes so quickly? It's so beautiful. Lynn didn't expect her to be so active. In just 1 minute, she changed from a chef's outfit to an evening dress suitable for going out to dinner. Elegant and noble, the black evening dress that fit her figure very well set off her devilish figure incomparably amazingly. Even though her beautiful face does not seem to use any makeup, her youthful and invincible radiance surpasses any makeup in the world. This FG is 15 years old. If it takes another 2 or 3 years, wouldn't it be a disaster for the country and the people? Although Lynn was amazed, she immediately realized something was wrong. Wait, where did you get this evening dress? When the recruitment came, the other party didn't bring any clothes, and the boat never docked. The only explanation is that this guy exchanged points with the system. My lord captain, we have arrived at the place. Can we disembark? I am very hungry. The guilty Nakiri Erina did not answer his question, but pointed to the front and reminded gently. Lynn had to give up. Yeah, I can finally eat delicious food. Fengyin Hiyori on the other side was also very excited. Do you think my usual cooking is not delicious? Lynn couldn't help giving her a shock on the head and asked her to cover her head and say no. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 012. Redfoot Jipu and Sanji. 4th update. The Sea Restaurant Bardi is a restaurant opened by Redfoot Jipu, who also serves as the chef. Red-footed Zap, who is also a character, has been on the Grand Line for a year. If measured by East Blue's gourmet standards, there is no doubt that Jipu is at a good level. But it's hard to say whether he can enter Nakiri Erina's eyes. In this regard, Lynn has little expectations. He also wanted to know what the level of food in Pirate World was. By the way, there is also Sanji, this guy. His cooking skills seem to be better than Jipu. Soon, under the guidance of the restaurant's guide, the boat of Lynn's group moored at a place next to the restaurant. Judging from the many ships moored around, the standard of this birdie product is recognized by many people. Even if birdie wanders on the sea all the year round and has no fixed place, there will be many gluttons chasing after him to eat. The three of Lynn got off the boat, and before they reached the restaurant, there were bursts of high or low exclamations from around. No way. Nakiri Erina and Fomin Hiyori are too dazzling. Moreover, the two daughters have their own characteristics. One is beautiful and elegant, the other is gentle and beautiful, and each has its own success. Such a combination is simply at the level of a fairy. Therefore, while those people exclaimed, they also cast envious and jealous eyes on Lynn surrounded by the two girls. If eyes could kill, then Lynn must have died dozens of times by now. Damn it, it is already a blessing for ordinary people to have a female companion of this level. But this BD actually has two. Naturally, the three of them entered the restaurant and immediately became the focus of the restaurant. The restaurant, which was a little noisy at first, suddenly became quiet. In this regard, Lynn said it feels pretty good. It turns out that this is the feeling of vanity, being satisfied. Two beautiful ladies. Sanji, I am honored to serve you. However, there was an enthusiastic voice immediately, and at the same time Lynn's eyes blurred. A blond man with curly eyebrows flashed in front of him. Seeing the heart shape flashing in his eyes, Lynn wanted to touch his forehead a little bit. This Sanji was as expected, and seemed to be more enthusiastic and considerate. Thank you. Under Sanji's warm greeting, the two daughters of Nakiri Erina responded politely and sat down. Beautiful lady, please allow me to introduce to you. Our best products here are... Hey, we don't have much money. Why do you always recommend good wine and good food? What if we can't pay the bill then? Lynn decides to tease the horny knight. However, what Lynn didn't expect was that she was directly ignored by the other party. Yes, Sanji directly pretended that he did not exist. Two beautiful ladies. It is the highest honor of this restaurant for you to come to this restaurant. So for today's meal, Sanji, please. Don't worry, I will arrange it. Thank you so much. Mr. Sanji. Thank you, Fomin Rai, quickly and politely. But Nakiri Erina was not so polite. Remember, you must provide the highest level of food in your restaurant. Otherwise, I will not be polite to people who are perfunctory in food. Receive. Sanji covered his already overflowing nosebleed, turned around, and rushed into the back kitchen of the restaurant. However, soon there was a crackling sound from the back kitchen of the restaurant. At the same time, there was an uncontrollable roar. Sanji, you idiot, you gave the beauties free orders again. How dare you order the highest standard this time? If you continue like this, our restaurant will soon collapse. No, I want to tell Boss Chapu, UBD is too messy. Hey, then get out of here. I'll do it myself, and you don't need to do it. The old man, I'll explain it. Bah, what's the explanation? You clearly misunderstood the boss's chivalry. You are not chivalry. You are clearly a dog-licking spirit. There was another commotion in the kitchen. However, no matter how lively the back kitchen is, the customers in the restaurant seem to be familiar with all this, and no one is curious to find out. Instead, the diners continue to eat and chat while waiting for the meal. It's really a unique restaurant. But this is a restaurant for ordinary people after all, and I'm afraid there won't be any treasures. Nakiri Erina commented. She is not limited to God's tongue. She is also first class in terms of sense of smell. During the period between coming in and sitting down, she has collected all the food aromas in this restaurant one by one and deduced the quality of the products from them. So, her words were considered polite. If it was in the world of eating halberds, she would have opened her poisonous tongue, ridiculed her, and then left the table. You two beautiful ladies, you have been waiting for a long time. Not long after, Sanji personally served the dishes, filling the table with 2 bottles of expensive red wine. Only from the bursts of exclamation coming from the dining table next to him, it can be seen that this guy has really spent a lot of money. As expected of a lecherous night. The food is SOSO, huh? The wine is fine. Nakiri Erina took a sip of each dish, and it seemed that there was nothing worth her second bite. No surprises, but the red wine, which made her raise her eyebrows slightly, with a look of surprise. Is it good to drink? Then drink more. Sanji didn't care about the mediocre dishes, but when he heard that the red wine was recognized, he immediately became happy again. Miss, I disagree with your statement. A deep voice drifted over. Lynn and the others followed the prestige and saw a tall, middle-aged and elderly man with 2 braided beards and a prosthetic right foot walking over. Redfoot Zap. Sanji is the chef of the highest level in our Bardi restaurant, and his carefully prepared dishes are definitely the first-class level in East Blue. Miss, if you know that there is a stronger product than him, I, Jipu, would like to see it. He stared at Nakiri Erina and said solemnly. After all these years of being dependent on each other, he has already regarded Sanji as his son, and it can even be said that he is the most proud sustenance. But now his son's carefully cooked dishes are said to be SOSO by others, so he is naturally very upset. Not even a very beautiful lady can be forgiven. While Nakiri Erina pondered, Lynn followed Fengyin Rai and didn't care about him, and started eating and drinking. Let me use your kitchen. Thank you for these 2 bottles of red wine. Nakiri Erina thought for a while before making a decision. In this article, daily interactions with girls, as well as upgrades and battles are mixed. I hope you all know, book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time, April 29th to May 3rd, 013. Creek Pirates destroyed. 5th more. For Nakiri Erina's plan to show her hand, Lynn did not stop, but was a little bit looking forward to it. The equipment of Baladi restaurant should not be bad, so Lynn sensibly stopped eating and waited for something better. It's too delicious. After Sanji and Jipu tasted the dishes made by Nakiri Erina, they shouted out in unison. It was made by Nakiri Erina, and it was also produced by Sanji just now. But for the same dish, the taste is obviously different. Sanji's production is not bad, but compared with Nakiri Erina's, it is obviously a grade worse. However, Nakiri Erina was a little dissatisfied and complained in a low voice. Your kitchen equipment is too difficult to use. The seasoning is not good. What? Can your production level be higher? Could it be that you are the goddess Hestia, the Western god of cookery, who came down to earth? Sanji nearly choked. Dare to love, people haven't done their best yet. This person has to be thrown away more than others. This beautiful lady. Thank you for bringing valuable experience to our Baladi restaurant. Please accept these 2 boxes of red wine. A small heart is not a respect. Jipu even sent 2 boxes of red wine approved by Erina to thank him. When Nakiri Erina was operating in the kitchen, they also watched and learned a lot of experience for improvement. These rare improvements are enough to shock them, to Nakiri Erina. You are too polite. How dare you? Lynn immediately picked up the 2 boxes of red wine, for fear that the other party would regret it. Don't be in vain. Wow, what a huge fleet. There are at least dozens of large ships. Is it marine? Just when the 3 of Lynn were about to board the boat and leave amidst the warm farewell of Jipu, Sanji and others, they found that the sea not far away was already dark and overwhelming. It turned out to be a mighty fleet going through here. I saw a pirate flag consisting of a skull, 2 crossbones, and 2 hourglasses connected to the ends of the bones hanging above their masts. Oops, it's the Creek Pirates. Everyone retreat. When Jipu saw the pirate flag, his expression changed drastically, and he decided to run away. What? Creek? That's the overlord of East Blue. That's right. He has 5,000 people and 50 pirate ships under his command. Even ordinary marines dare not mess with him. Then let's run away quickly. What are you still doing? My mother. It's over. After learning that it was the Creek Pirates, the guests in the entire restaurant were in a mess. An atmosphere of panic is rapidly permeating because the Creek Pirates are not only powerful, but also do all kinds of evil. In their eyes, ordinary people are like ants slaughtering and looting at will. Hey, you can't leave. The second team of Creek pirates came to see you. Hand over your belongings, food, and ships obediently. You can only blame the weather. We had a storm the day before yesterday and lost some ships. Hey, it's a great honor for you guys to confiscate your stuff. I said let's kill them all. What to do with so much chatter? Feed the sharks after killing, and burn the useless boat? How clean and neat. TSK, you just want to enjoy killing. But I like it too. Ha ha ha. At this time, many small speedboats appeared on the sea around Baladi restaurant, and there were several pirates on them, all shouting with their knives in hand. It turned out that the vanguard fleet of the Creek pirates had arrived first. Lynn didn't take them seriously at all, but squinted at the huge ship in the distance. And if he guessed correctly, the Creek was on it. Lynn was a little surprised. The Creek pirates are obviously leaving East Blue for the Grand Line. According to the progress of the original book, these unlucky ghosts will be played by the world's #1 swordsman Hawkeye from the Grand Line, like an eagle catching chickens, to East Blue in a few months, and then return to Barty restaurant to beg for food. Met Luffy and Zoro. I didn't expect that I would meet them like this. Wow, these two chicks are too beautiful. God, I've never seen such a beautiful woman. Take it back and be the boss's wife. Oh no, I'm even willing to betray for them. Bah, what am I talking about? Hiss, my heart is moving. This must be true love. What's the hurry? Kill those males first. After Nakiri, Erina, and Fomin Hiyori were discovered, there was a commotion in the Creek pirates. Little Hiyori, you protect Erina? Yes. After Lynn confessed, he shot. The prestige of these 2 days didn't seem to increase very much, so I just used these guys to improve my prestige. Tempest kick, finger snatch. As soon as Lynn made a move, it was a 2-stroke long-range attack in Marine 6 styles. With just one encounter, all the speedboats that surrounded Barati's restaurant were sunk without exception. The dead and injured of the pirates on the speedboat howled miserably. Hiss, who is this? It's too powerful. I recognize it. This is the Tempest kick in Marine 6 styles. I saw a Marine colonel use it in Logtown. But the power is much worse than that of this lord. It's not as easy as this lord. Isn't this the BD? Mister who brought those 2 beautiful girls just now? Let me just say, how can someone who can have such 2 peerless beauties be an ordinary person? This gentleman has already rescued us. We have to go. No need to leave. I feel that the Creek pirates will be removed from East Blue starting today. Too strong. To attack the fleet alone. Is this a god? That's right. Under everyone's astonished and shocking eyes, Lynn launched a fierce attack towards the Creek pirates' fleet not far away. At this moment, it seems that he surrounded the Creek pirates, not the Creek pirates. This is how blood-boiling, breathtaking. Big Tempest kick. The fleets lined up in formation are as fragile as tofu in front of Lynn's astonishingly powerful Tempest kick. A Tempest kick can even cut off several warships in one go. In just a few tens of seconds, the ships of the Creek pirates were sunk by Lynn one after another. Even the shells they counterattacked, none of them could escape Lynn's flying finger grab interception. There is no way to attack the Baladi restaurant. Boom, boom. Amidst a sea of flames and explosions and screams of dying, only the main ship of the Creek pirates remained on the surface of the sea. The armada of the East Blue Overlord was destroyed in an instant. This scene made everyone gasp, and they all felt extremely magical, as if everything in front of them was not real. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 014. Taking advantage of the sheep. Smoker has a headache. 6th update. Tell me it's not true. How can a person be so strong? This kind of monster is enough to go to the Grand Line. It's more than that. I think he can become a supernova that shocks the whole world. As long as Lord Lynn kicks 2 more times, the Dreadnought Saber will be gone. Why did he jump on it instead? Yeah. Does he want to kill that BD Creek? However, at the next moment, Lynn jumped onto the main ship and did not sink the other side readily, which made everyone feel a little strange. But the reason, only Lynn himself knows. Without him, Lynn went up just to collect some money and jewelry. This Creek is the overlord of the East Blue. He has been running rampant for so many years and must have a lot of money. Naturally, Lynn will not let it go. This kind of ill-gotten wealth is not taken for nothing. If Lynn only had Xiao Rai following him now, he wouldn't think about money or anything. But in the future, it is possible that the number of crew members will be 7 or 8, or even double digits or more. Especially now that there is only one more lady, Nakiri Erina, the future expenses will be significantly higher. So Lynn has to consider the issue of open source. BD, I'm going to kill you. As soon as he went up, he was stopped by a tall, strong, purple-haired man in steel armor and holding a big gun. Admiral of the Creek Pirates, Creek. Bounty 17 million berries, East Blue, Overlord. At this time, his anger almost burned the Tianling guy to ashes. He has worked so hard and saved so many years of family wealth, but just meeting the other party turned into ashes. How could he accept it? One, therefore, no matter how strong Lynn is, he will come up and work hard. Moreover, he has strong confidence in his means. No matter how strong it is, as long as it is poisoned, is it still allowed to be slaughtered by itself? It's a pity that Lynn didn't even bother to look at him and ended him with a quick snap of his fingers. Such a bad BD. Lynn has no interest in dealing with him. Creek was killed, and the pirates on the main ship panicked. They were defeated like a mountain, and many even jumped into the sea to escape. How dare they resist? Lynn grabs an unlucky guy at random and asks him to lead the way to Crick's vault. Huh? Didn't see Ghost Gene? Did this guy run away? Or was he thrown into the sea by me on another ship? On the way to the vault on the creek, Lynn suddenly remembered someone. After all, this guy is on the Blue Star side, and a lot of Jaime made up a lot of ignorant existences. Some people deduce that he is the Marine Admiral Green Bull, or even the illegitimate son of Celestial Dragon's Imp. And there are a lot of interesting things. Come on. So it's not surprising that Lynn has an impression. Crick's treasury is not small, and Lynn filled up the carry-on space, and there is still more than half of it left. Of course, most of this can't be wasted, and Lynn moved directly to her own boat. Then, he chopped the dreadnought saber in half and sank it into the sea. The Creek Pirates are destroyed. Goodbye, Miss Erina. Hioriko, I will look for you in the future. Don't forget me, Mr. Lynn. As long as I am alive, I will be in the East Blue to proclaim your great kindness. After finishing the Creek Pirates, Lynn and the others didn't stay for long. After Sanji and the others reluctantly waved goodbye, they quickly left the Bardi restaurant. Lynn, oh no, my captain, you are too powerful. Although the battle has come to an end, Nakiri Erina is still excited. Living in a world without superpowers. When has she ever seen such terrifying combat power? A single person, like Superman on TV, instantly sank a fleet of giant battleships. That world is so interesting. Are you good? So, let me tell you a secret. Xiao Rai is even better than me. Lynn replied with a smile, making her small mouth open into a nice little O shape. My lord captain, are you sure you're not joking? Nakiri Erina didn't believe it. You'll have a chance to see it. Lynn didn't bother to explain. In the future, Xiao Rai will become a walking catastrophe. What is it to sink a fleet? Destroying a country is easy. Oh, by the way, I talked to that lecherous knight, and he said that the legendary CALLBLUE has the top seafood ingredients, which is his lifelong dream. If there is a chance, Lynn, can you help me find this magical sea? Is it the sea? Nakiri Erina suddenly thought of something, then stared into Lynn's eyes and said with some prayers, No problem, leave it to me. First agree before talking. Otherwise, what will happen if the employees don't work hard in the future? After all, Lynn still understands capital, the captain's way. Wonderful. Thank you, Lynn. Received his swearing promise, Nakiri Erina smiled and cheered softly. If she didn't know Lynn very well, she couldn't help but hug him. She couldn't help being happy when she thought of the possibility of getting legendary ingredients. On the way to Lowtown, a specially made warship is moving forward quickly. What? Say it again. On the deck of the warship, there was a sudden questioning. I saw Colonel Smoker of Marine staring at the adjutant in front of him with the veins on his forehead exposed. Back to the colonel, Lynn alone, with the Tempest kick in Marine 6 styles, wiped out the Creek Pirates. The adjutant repeated in a loud voice. Hiss. This Lynn. What the hell is going on? Black eating black. But he can wipe out the Creek pirates with Tempest Kick alone, which shows that his strength is by no means inferior to mine. Smoker rubbed his forehead, feeling a little headache. It seems that my own pursuit this time is not as sure as I imagined. These factors must be taken into consideration. Colonel Smoker, why don't we contact East Blue headquarters and ask them to send strong reinforcements? Tashigi, who was not far away, suggested. Don't even think about it. As long as it's about my Smoker, those old bastards won't lend a helping hand. Otherwise, with my strength, how could I be sent by them to this weakest sea? Smoker said bitterly. He knew that he had offended some Marine executives, and those people would not make him feel better until he showed weakness and surrendered. Boo 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 boo. At this moment, a strange voice sounded from Smoker, and he immediately took out a snail-shaped thing and connected it. Phone bug, a specialty of One Piece world, has the ability to communicate. This call is from Logtown. The Marine branch of Logtown has already discovered the whereabouts of the pirate Lynn and others in the sea area outside Logtown. This time, I will never let you escape. Smoker quickly put down the phone bug and gave an order. Full speed ahead. Pirate Lynn is only 20 nautical miles away from us. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 0:15. With armament hockey's bullets. One more. After giving the order, Smoker seemed to think of something, then picked up the phone bug and made a call. Sir Smoker, you finally remembered me. What can I ask of you? A lazy voice came from the phone. After a while, there was silence. Smoker, if you have something to ask me, don't act like a woman. I got a little impatient on the phone. About? Do me a favor. Smoker's words slipped around his lips twice before he spoke. With his character, it is really rare to ask for help. Even the adjutant and Tashigi next to him stared wide-eyed, as if seeing the sun coming out from the west. If Smoker could ask someone with his ability and some connections, why would he be relegated to the weakest sea? Huh? Smoker, you also have today. I will definitely promise you, and then let you owe me a huge favor. ABT over there laughed out loud, making Smoker's face darken immediately. Stop talking nonsense. You have 5 hours to meet me in Logtown, Smoker said coldly. Don't worry, I'm not as good as you in fighting, but when it comes to punctuality and cold shooting, I'm a professional. Abbott also became serious. After all, someone with a Logia fruit ability like Smoker would call for help, and he knew how troublesome things were. The outline of the island quickly appeared in front of Dee's eyes, and if he got closer, he could see the various buildings in the town, as well as the traces of the bustling atmosphere rushing towards his face. Logtown almost there, just a few miles away. You can see all kinds of ships coming and going at the pier outside the town, and there are a lot of them. It is indeed the starting town of East Blue to Grand Line. But Lynn soon sensed some eyes secretly locked on her side. He understood. The three of them had already entered the area heavily monitored by Marine, and the other party may already know his identity. Not a big problem. After all, Smoker, who guards Logtown, is a bit weak for him now. As long as there are no admiral candidates and admiral-level powerhouses in Logtown, he will dismantle the Logtown Marine branch. The news of the destruction of the Creek pirates should have spread. If this Marine branch is also dismantled, then my bounty and reputation will definitely increase again. Thinking that the level 3 captain is coming soon, Lynn is so motivated that she can't wait to put on her wings and go to the Marine base in Logtown to make a big fuss and beat Smoker hard. However, before that, I have to go to the island with my second daughter, buy some things they want, replenish supplies, and get ready to enter the Grand Line. The shopping and purchasing plans went well, and then the three of them took the opportunity to visit Logtown. Logtown is the place where the One Piece King Roger was executed, and it can be regarded as a famous place in the world of One Piece. Every day, many pirates come here from all over the world to worship and mourn. Therefore, the law and order in Logtown has not been very good, full of all kinds of turmoil and uneasiness. But it can also be said this way. The Marine commander guarding Logtown is basically one of the strongest in East Blue. After visiting the execution platform and square where Roger was executed, the three of Lynn headed home. But Lynn didn't follow Feng Yin Ri and the two back to the boat. he let the second daughter go first. Then, he waited for someone who locked himself to show up in an open space away from Rock Square. Lynn have a good nose. Smoker, with 2 big cigars in his mouth, came out of a dark alley, and on the surrounding high-rise buildings, some windows and roofs, Marines also appeared with guns aiming. Lynn has been surrounded. Do you think this is useful? Smoker. Lynn shrugged and went to work. Shave. Whoosh. In the next second, he appeared in front of Smoker and punched him on the nose. So fast. Even Smoker couldn't react at this moment, so he could only forcefully take this fast punch. Foo! However, Lynn's punch was missed, and Smoker's face suddenly turned into surging smoke, which wrapped around Lynn's hand. Not only that, but all parts of his body also turned into billowing smoke. Smoke Fruit's ability is activated. Direct elementalization. Once you come up, don't spare any effort. White Chain. Smoker's whole body turned into smoke in an instant, rolled out, and enveloped Lynn. Then in the next second, the smoke instantly solidified, forming huge white chains. These chains of smoke have extremely tough characteristics. Smoker used this move during a big contest within Marine and even trapped a Marine Rear Admiral with a strength of 2,000. Therefore, the white chain worked, which made Smoker secretly happy. Steady? Ha! Hiss! Unexpectedly, Lynn easily broke the smoke chains with just a light struggle, and then a lightning-like punch knocked him down. Boom! Lynn's punch was so powerful that Smoker even felt that several of his teeth had been knocked out. More than that, the power of this punch smashed his whole body into the ground heavily. Yes, even the ground covered with rocky tiles couldn't bear the aftermath of the punch, and a big hole was directly sunken. I'm elementalizing. How could I get hit? Woo. Armament hockey. It was also at this time that Smoker came to his senses. Smoker, you kinda let me down? Lynn seemed a little uninterested. Smoke Fruit is really useless. This is still Lynn only using the rudimentary armament hockey. With a maxed out armament hockey, Lynn feels she might be able to cripple him with a single punch. Boom! But at this moment, a gunshot came from afar. Boom! Lynn thrusts out a punch. Armament hockey covers and hard catches the incoming bullet. The bullet shot was unusual. It collided with Lynn's fist, as if 2 strong men collided. After the violent explosion, the aftermath swept out like a hurricane and even left scars on the surrounding buildings. Deeper than a sword slash. Even those Marine soldiers who were laying ambushes on the surrounding buildings were injured by getting closer. Armament hockey? Lynn frowned and analyzed the power of this bullet. Being able to cover armament hockey on bullets, that guy hiding in the shadows, is no easy feat, definitely a sniper. Where is this guy? Lynn looked in the direction the bullet came from, but found nothing. White Vine. Smoker strikes back again, locking Lynn with a swirling cloud of smoke. Boom! At the same time, another bullet was fired at Lynn. Nice fit. And the direction of the bullet this time is very different from the last time. The secret sniper obviously shifted. Boom! Lynn opened fire with full force. Not only punched Smoker away again, but also sent the bullet back to where it came from. Boom! The bullet, which was stronger and reflected back at a faster speed, split half of the roof of a building more than 1,000 meters away. However, it seemed that the sniper had shifted again, and there was no one there. What a cunning. Shave. Lynn dodged a few times and used Moonwalk to float in the air, but still did not find the other party's trace. I don't know if the other party is running fast or hiding well. There is also a dense population of Log Town, which also brings a lot of difficulties to search. Huh? Without observation hockey, it's not easy. Lynn frowned. An advanced sniper with an arm color is just annoying. No matter how strong Lynn is, with the full-level armament hockey, he wouldn't dare to take such a bullet. The good news, Smoker passed out when he took the second punch. There is only one sniper left, and it seems that there is no problem. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 016. 6 beautiful snipers, second update. Since playing hide and seek with me, I won't accompany you. Lynn locked the location of the Marine branch, and then quickly left with Moonwalk. The Marine branch in Log Town, he dismantled it today, and when his figure left, a slender Colonel Marine with a large bleeding wound on his left cheek, came out from a dark place more than 100 meters away. ABT, originally one of the few snipers in Naval Headquarters. He is also a Maverick Master and was also excluded by the headquarters, so he has quite a common language with Smoker. But at this time, he didn't have the confidence that a sharpshooter should have in the past. He could even feel the coldness on his back. Just now, the bullet returned by Lynn's punch is more terrifying than a mortar. As long as he walks slower for a second, he may confess on the spot. Even though he was determined to jump off the building at that time, he was still cut in the face by bullet fragments. When did such a monster appear in East Blue? Such a terrifying armament hockey. Only the elite vice admiral can defeat him. The severe pain on his face made ABT grin his teeth. Go and see Smoker first, this unlucky guy. It's too miserable. Abbott thought about it and decided to let Lynn to toss about the branch. Lynn is so strong that if she goes again, she will probably give it away. Although there is a slight possibility it can hurt the other party. However, when he saw Smoker's miserable situation, he couldn't bear it any longer. I made you rely on the ability of the Logia fruit, and you didn't practice the 6 forms and hockey well. Now you meet a real strong opponent. You are stupid. For a long time, Smoker has relied heavily on the ability of Devil Fruit, thinking that as long as the fruit ability is well developed, there is no need to invest in Marine 6 styles and hockey. Today, he, a Logia-capable user, was instantly killed by armament hockey, and he was taught a good lesson. If you can't rectify your name in the future, you, Smoker, will have to bear the shame of Logia. Abbott muttered. The pier west of Logtown, Fomin Rai and Nakiri Erina were humming a ditty, carrying big bags and small bags, happily about to board the boat. However, at this moment, a bunch of Marines suddenly ran out from all over the pier and surrounded the two of them. Give up resistance and follow us. We will not hurt you. Although Major Marine, who led the team, was taken aback by the beauty of the two when they met each other, he still held his own. In secret, he couldn't help underestimating a few words. Sir, it's true, it's a waste of resources to send a major like himself to arrest just these 2 weak girls. Humph. We won't go with you. Fomin Rai snorted coldly and immediately activated Demeter, Major Marine and his party. When Lynn came back after dismantling the Marine branch, he just saw the tragic situation of those Marines being cleaned up by Xiao Rai, and he couldn't help sighing. In private, he was also a little proud. His usual training for Xiao Rai really came in handy. Right now, Xiao Haiori just used his ability to control the tornado to easily clean up the dozens of Marines without affecting the surrounding ships at all. It seems that Xiao Rai's manipulation of Demeter is getting more and more subtle. This made Lynn very relieved. The procurement and demolition plans were completed perfectly. So of course the next step is to leave Logtown and enter the Grand Line as soon as possible. What Lynn didn't expect was that Erina, who saw Xiao Rai transformed into an angel and manipulated the tornado, completely turned into Xiao Rai's little fangirl and circled around Xiao Rai, even ignoring him crying for food up. Hey, I'm mighty too, okay? I defeated more than 100 Marines by myself. Lynn was a bit resentful, but remembering the Marine sniper he didn't kill, he immediately went back to his room. Since you can't help the other party, then recruit one yourself. Sniper versus sniper. Let the professional deal with the professional. Won't the problem be solved? Lynn called himself a genius for this idea. System, help me recruit snipers. I need stronger ones. Master host, wait a moment. I will serve you immediately. The connection is complete, and I am selecting. The system responded immediately, and after a few minutes made the appropriate list to 1. Shino Asada, 190 points. 2. Main, 300 points. 3. Snow, 180 points. 4. Reggie, 150 points. 5. Bartolome, 800 points. 6. Hyanshu, 650 points. The system continues to search. The list this time is a bit interesting. The list that appeared at the beginning made Lynn's eyes light up. These 6 girls, to be honest, no matter which one they are, Lynn's impression is good, and they're all very distinctive. Shino Asada, nicknamed the Ice Sniper, one of the heroines in the Sword Art Online world, had a lot of popularity when she was in Blue Star. Ma Yin, the top sniper in Sanji world, owns the Tegu romantic Fort Pumpkin, driven by spiritual energy. Fei Xuez from the Linglong, Cage, world, She is a woman who is good at spear skills, but also has a lot of charm. Reki, one of the heroines of The World of Scarlet Aria. Ba-Mami, the magical girl in Magic Girl Madoka Magica. Her weapon is a rifled flintlock. Hyanshu, the heroine in Black Rock Shooter, has a rechargeable cannon that can fire 20 rocks per second and can also be transformed into a super large machine gun with 3 consecutive rotations. Lynn preferred to cross out Asada Shino, Fei Shue, and Lei Ji, who were still in the mortal realm. Undoubtedly, the strongest among them are Ba-Mami and Hei Yanshu. Their strength and their own individual qualities are all extraordinary, but their prices are also the most expensive, starting with 650 points. Lynn wanted to choose one of them, but he was shy in his pocket. If you choose them, you may delay Xiao Hiyori's training, as well as Nakiri Erina's salary and various expenses. Next time I have a chance. Lynn could only focus on the remaining name, Ma Yin. It can only be you. Lynn made a choice. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 017. Ma Yin, you need to pay more? 1/8? The chapters are always banned due to picture violations. The banned ones can only be read tomorrow. It seems that there is no review at night. I will pay attention to it in the future, although I have already paid attention to it, and the updates will be reviewed in the morning and noon. Working hours. Choosing Ma Yin can save at least half of the points, and her sniper power is not small, which can keep up with the level of combat power here. On the other side of Zhanchi World, she once let the romantic Fortress Pumpkin play the terrifying power of cutting a castle in half when the crisis was imminent. Another point is that Lin feels that he has a way to make her go further. The growth of Xiao Rai made Lin obsessed with the sense of accomplishment cultivated by this kind of cultivation. Thinking about the fact that Ma Yin will wipe out the entire fleet with a sweep of the romantic fort in the future, it is terrifying. Potential is the baby. Of course, the most important thing is that Lin knows the weakness of this little girl, so it doesn't take much effort to fool her. Ma Yin, 14 years old, 77/53/78 cm, height 155 centimeters, weapons, romantic fortress, pumpkin cannon, spiritual power, Class B. A cross-border connection is about to take place. 14 years old. Is this more than a year before the development of the original story? While Lin was thinking, the golden light reappeared, the magnificent star gate opened, and the girl, just like in the impression, walked out of it. Ma Yin, a cute and pretty girl, has long pink hair and twin ponytails. Even her dress is light pink, like a pink elf. Because of the system, she also knew what she mainly wanted to apply for this time. Hi, Captain, my name is Ma Yin, and I will be the sniper on your ship from today on. Please take care of me. Ma Yin's generous cade is in line with her sincere and frank personality. Ma Yin, you are welcome to join our big family. Lin responded enthusiastically. Our new partner? Wow, so kawaii. When Fuin Rai and Nakiri Naomi arrived at Ma Yin, they were just stunned, but soon they started communicating with each other with a little familiarity. Perhaps appearance, 8 trigrams, and so on are all things that women can easily resonate with. But Lin had some bad premonitions in her heart. What if they form an alliance in the future? That's not easy. Hey, Captain Smelly, how many more ignorant girls like this do you want to abduct? Nakiri Erina suddenly asked at this moment. Lin, I don't allow you to say that about yourself. I'll count. There may be 5 or 6 more. Ship doctors, helmsmen, combatants, and so on must be recruited. Lin roughly counted. When the captain reaches level 3, he can recruit 2 crew members, at least 2, maybe more than 2, even if he only counts level 4 and level 5. As for the 6th level, the bounty has reached the level of tens of billions, which should be the level of One Piece. As for whether it can be reached before leaving this world, it is hard to say. So, Lin counted to the 5th rank of captain. Presumably, at least a total of 9 crew members? If 4 or 5 captains can recruit 3 or more, there may be more than 11? Then we are really lively here. Nakiri Erina muttered something, and then her face changed. After that, wouldn't I have to prepare food for 10 people every day? And 3 times a day? Oh my god, it's a sweatshop. Seeing Lin nodded with a smile, she said angrily, I am the eldest lady of the Nakiri family. I was born in a noble family, but I have become a servant with you, a cow, and a horse. Umph. Lynn, your behavior like this is unforgivable. Lynn thought it was true. In the original book, Nakiri Erina, who started as Yuan 10 Heroes, ended up becoming UNU's commander-in-chief. During the whole process, there were only 3 or 2 chances to make a move. Even if she meets her true son, Xing Ping Chuangjin, later on. But here, I have to prepare 3 meals a day, and the service period is calculated in years and months. It is indeed a bit cruel. Then what do you want to forgive me? That bit of guilt made Lynn lower his posture a bit. Such a beautiful and noble girl is infested with oily smoke every day. Just thinking about it is a sin. However, why is there some inexplicable secret pleasure and vanity in addition to guilt? You have to add money to me. Nakiri Erina's expression was a bit black-and-cade. Come, the famous expression in the famous scene, however, this line of dialogue that requires extra money made Lynn smile even more. When did my noble and arrogant young lady become like this? Okay, no problem. Add up to 6 points for a month. No, at least 7 points. You gave me 5 points last time. Now that you have added so much work, how can you add 1 point? You hateful capitalist. Lynn lowered her voice and whispered in her ear. Don't yell. Everyone here. Only you get paid. Otherwise, really? You're not lying to me, are you? Nakiri Erina expressed disbelief. But it seems that these days, Fongin Raya's never mentioned points or anything. Okay, 6 points is 6 points, but there will be more people in the future. Nakiri Erina had no choice but to give up resentfully, and no longer insisted on the 7 points she proposed. But about this point, she will look it up in the future. Someone's first protest against capitalists ended in an unsatisfactory way. So this is the world. Just like our corrupt empire, those high and corrupt rulers are all bastards who deserve to be killed. With the help of Shaori, the second daughter, and the system, Ma Yin finally had a deeper understanding of the pirate world. When Ma Yin said these words, some indistinct, murderous aura overflowed from her body, bringing an inexplicable chill around her. Perhaps Nakiri Erina and Fuin Hiyori didn't quite understand why Ma Yin was so young, but she carried such a murderous aura that ordinary people could not possess. But Lynn, who knows the roots of Ma Yin, knows it very well and has been moved by it. Looking at Ma Yin's life, judging from the results of the anime, it is a tragedy. He was discriminated against since he was a child because he was a mixed ethnic minority. When he grew up, he joined the killer organization Night Strike in order to change this discrimination. Sacrifice, and only dared to confess to the male lead before he dies. Even though Ma Yin is only 14 years old, she has already performed many missions in the killer organization Night Attack and killed many corrupt bureaucrats and scumbags. Therefore, it is normal for her to have this kind of murderous aura that makes people feel cold all over her body. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity time. April 29th to May 3rd, 018. The way to make main stronger. The value of Nakiri Erina. 2/8. Of course, Lynn is more distressed about this. Now the world of Zhanqi has not yet entered the development of the main plot. If Ma Yin can grow rapidly during this period of time together, and let her make up for her shortcomings, her combat power will be improved to a higher level. Then it is possible to avoid the fall in the decisive battle in the future. With the combat power of Pirate World, it is not easy to make Ma Yin a stronger existence. In this regard, Lynn already has a rough plan in mind. This plan is also called the Point Recovery Plan. That's right. When he knew that Nakiri Erina could use points in the system to exchange some recipes, food, and even clothing and cosmetics, his plan took shape. Why can the system be recycled, but I, as the host of the system, can't? As a qualified captain, you have to learn how to manage money and strive to get a good return on every investment. For this behavior, Lynn explained to herself like this. In order to welcome Ma Yin to join, Nakiri Erina finally started her first cooking on this ship and cooked a very sumptuous dinner for everyone. Wow, this is so delicious. Erina, from today, you are my best friend. Ma Yin, who was full of food, even temporarily forgot about the big brothers and sisters in the Night Attack and directly declared Nakiri Erina as her true love. Foaming, Rai stuffed his mouth full at this time, like a greedy little hamster, but he quickly nodded his head, expressing his approval of Ma Yin's words. But she couldn't let go of the delicious food in front of her, and soon buried it in the big bowl again. Is it so delicious? Don't lie to me. Also, why don't you call me when you're eating? I'm the captain. Lynn also smelled the scent and came over at this time and expressed her dissatisfaction at being ignored. At the same time, he was also a little curious. He also tasted the food that Nakiri Erina personally cooked at the Baladi restaurant before, and it was quite delicious, but it wouldn't make people lose their composure. I just wanted to call you, but they are too hungry to bear it. I'm sorry, my captain. Sit down. After all, the salary has been raised, and Nakiri Erina is also a little more polite to Lynn and gets closer. Okay, then I'll try the handicraft of the legendary 10 Masters of Yuanyue. The gaff of Ma Yin and Xiao Rai aroused Lynn's curiosity and appetite. Today is just a test. I haven't fully grasped the characteristics of your ingredients, and I still need some time to research and match them. But even so, this table of food is the best in your world. The little complacency and pride on Nakiri Erina's face could no longer be hidden at this moment. With the relatively convenient matching kitchen utensils, she felt that she had performed fairly well for this meal. Of course, there is still room for improvement in the future. Hiss! Lynn, who picked up a piece of fried fish and put it in his mouth, couldn't help but marvel in the next second. At the same time, I also understood why Ma Yin and Xiao Rai behaved like this. It's really delicious. The dry fragrance is delicious and tender, everything is complete, and the sense of layering is extremely obvious. And the impact back and forth makes the taste seem to be a little bit stuck. For a moment, Lynn was about to burst into tears. What kind of things did she eat all the time after time travel? He also finally understood why people in the world of food halberds would have such exaggerated fantasies when they ate high-level delicacies, and even their clothes would explode in reality. More money must be added. She must be given a salary increase. How much? It must be double. For a moment, Lynn almost couldn't hold back her excited brain and did something against her conscience. Sister Erina, the food you cook is amazing. After I eat it, it seems that my spiritual strength can be slightly increased. It was only then that Ma Yin stopped and revealed a surprise discovery of her own. Is it so magical? Then I'll eat more and see. Lynn heard the words and speeded up her cooking. After a while, he also stopped, sensing his mental state. It really is. At this time, his mental state is unprecedentedly good. Could it be that it's because of the setting of the food halberd world? After all, the people over there eat high-end delicacies, and they always have immersive magical fantasies, which even makes me unable to control myself in reality. All kinds of embarrassing behaviors. Lynn could only think of one possibility. This reasoning is actually well-founded, especially the ancestral Nakiri family's ancestral clothing-exploding magical skill, which is triggered by the Nakiri family's unique mental fluctuations to trigger others around. Isn't this a mental ability? Faintly, Lynn felt that she had hit the jackpot. Nakiri Erina is by no means as simple as a top chef. There are still many good things on her body, which are worth exploring deeply also. If this is the case, can Ma Yin's spiritual power be enhanced by using this aspect? With a flash of inspiration, Lynn turned to Ma Yin. Main's Taigu romantic fort, the pumpkin cannon, is a gun-shaped Taigu that can convert Main's spiritual energy into shock waves. In other words, the stronger Ma Yin's mental energy is, the stronger the bullets fired with the pumpkin cannon will be. And judging from the setting of the original book, there seems to be no upper limit to this intensity. Originally, Lynn also wanted to start with Conqueror's Haki, which can greatly improve spiritual power, or find a devil fruit for Main, which is related to spiritual power. Unexpectedly, at least half of it was solved by Nakiri Erina. I must give her more money. Double her salary. Lynn took a deep breath before putting aside her miscellaneous thoughts again. Etc. Why do I keep having such unreasonable thoughts? Could it be that the food made by Erina not only boosts the spirit, but also brainwashes the eater? Leaving from Logue Town, it took less than a day to see the Red Line standing tall in the distance and hidden in the clouds. Red Line and Grand Line are like two rings covering the world of pirates. The 2 points where they intersect, one is the Holy Land Mariehua, and the other is the Upside Down Mountain. The Reverse Mountain is the only entrance to the Grand Line in the Four Seas. Although Lynn has seen Red Line in anime, but personally experienced it, it was even more shocking. The immeasurable sea water has rolled up thousands of huge waves here, constantly beating the Red Line, and the momentum is like a galloping horse. Nakiri Erina and Main were a little dumbfounded. Hurry up! We're about to enter the entrance of the Grand Line. It's dangerous. But at this moment, Fomin Rai gave a loud reminder. Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge activity time. April 29th to May 3rd. Chapter 019. Lynn, you stinky rascal. The bounty has been increased again. The sound of Fomin Rai sounded, and Lynn and others felt that the front screen seemed to be tilted. It turned out that the boat under his feet began to shake violently. The 4 of them saw a big hole somewhere on the Red Line not far away. Countless seawater poured into the big, opening one after another, forming a river running up the mountain. Amazing! It's the first time I've seen water flowing up into the sky. The power of the Four Seas is so strong that these waters run upwards. This is unscientific. Just when everyone was amazed, Fomin Rai controlled the boat and entered inside. This is an extremely dangerous attempt. At this point, the chaos and ferocity of the ocean torrents have reached an extremely terrifying level, which is beyond the control of ordinary navigators. Therefore, there are really countless pirates who fail to go to the Grand Line every year because they cannot control their ships and crash into the Red Line. There are also rumors. The wreckage of the sunken ship piled up near here is hundreds of meters thick. It really is the beginning and the end, and it complements the not-too-distant Logue Town. This is too crazy. Ma Yin and Nakiri Erina immediately clung to the fence around them, but their strength was not strong enough to resist the sudden ups and downs, and their faces paled in fright. Xiao Haiori is okay. After all, he is transformed into an angel form and controls the surrounding ocean currents, wind, and air pressure through Demeter. Even if the heading was a bit off when approaching the entrance, it was quickly repaired by her, and she made a drift at a considerable angle. I'm dying. Lynn, help. Nakiri Erina really couldn't hold on, and was thrown away by the huge force brought by the drift and turning. The same is true for Ma Yin, flying out after Nakiri Erina. It was also at this moment that the 2 of them realized how humble and insignificant their own power was in front of the vastness of nature. Fortunately, Fomin Rai used a small tornado to support them in time, preventing them from falling into the water. However, even if Fomin Rai hadn't made a move, Lynn would have saved them in time. Whoosh! Lynn, who shot at the same time, flashed beside them in an instant. Then grab one in each hand, hold them upside down with one hand, and then gallop in the sky on moonwalk. Come on, go up! With a shout, he gave instructions to the helmsman Fomin Rai. Clatter! Amidst the sound of fierce, turbulent currents, under the control of Fomin Rai, the ship rushed into the entrance and climbed at an extremely fast speed. The boat quickly climbs the mountain in the upstream river below, while people walk on the boat, forming a very shocking picture. After a while, Lynn landed with the second daughter in her arms and landed firmly on the deck. The danger was finally lifted. But, Lynn UBD, let me go. In the next second, Lynn's foot was stepped on heavily by Erina Nakiri. Snort! Nakiri Erina blushed and ran away. The next moment, Lynn woke up. When hugging someone emotionally, my hand seems to be in the wrong place. Can this be my fault? It's an emergency. I didn't mean it. Lynn felt a little innocent. He really didn't think about mopping up or anything. In the harsh environment at that time, if ordinary people like Erina and Ma Yin fell, even if they were superhuman, it would be hard to say that they could be saved. The terrible torrent at the beginning could definitely sweep people into the depths of the sea in a second or two. Humph! Lynn, you stinking rogue. And Ma Yin on the other side also noticed the clue and immediately stood in line to attack Lynn and help the sisters. Ma Yin, why are you excited? Don't worry. Even if I am a hooligan, I will not hooligan you. I will only treat you like a brother. Lynn looked at Ma Yin and looked up and down, a little bit broken. Dang, be a brother? Are you saying I'm flat? Ma Yin was still confused at first, but when she saw Lynn looking herself up and down, and her eyes fixed on a certain place, she immediately understood what it meant. Lynn was a little strange. I didn't mean that, don't you think so? Lynn, I think you deserve a beating. She blushed a little and immediately touched the romantic fort and let the muzzle of the gun glow with a yellow light of energy. She was really angry when she was stabbed in the sore spot by a word and decided to teach this nasty guy a lesson. At least let the bullets shave the middle of his head. Crack! Crash! However, at this moment, the boat started to shake violently again, which almost knocked her down, and she was so frightened that she threw the romantic battery aside and tightly hugged Lynn's legs with both hands. No way. The only thing that can be caught around is Lynn. Besides, hugging the BD's legs is better than jumping on him like a monkey. Ma Yin secretly praised her wit. Lynn is a little speechless. If you hug your thigh like this, if others see it, my reputation will be ruined. Hold tight. If you fall again, I will make another shot. Lynn didn't bother to argue with her anymore and kindly reminded her. I won't hold it tight, damn it. Who wants you to take action? Although Ma Yin's mouth was still stiff, her pale face with fright still betrayed her heart. Scream, dear Captain. I will let the pass go and carry you back to your room for free. Lynn pursued the victory. Don't even think about it. Main's ears turned red. What's going on today? How did it become like this? Oh, an Erina. Why are you lying here? Did you run slowly just now? It's cold on the ground. Do you want the captain to help you? Lynn didn't forget the other unlucky guy who was knocked down as soon as he ran to the hatch. After getting off the upside-down mountain, after formally entering the Grand Line, and when it was time to have dinner, Lynn realized that she seemed to be playing a bit too big. Both Nakiri Erina and Ma Yin lay down early to rest due to seasickness, while Xiaorai and he could only eat dry food for a meal. Damn it, the clown is actually me. Thinking of the taste of Erina's food, Lynn regretted it. It's a pity that I didn't see the whale laboon at Gemini Cape. I don't know if I went for food, but I didn't see it. Lynn is still very moved by the story of the whale laboon and its owner, and has always been very impressed. But Nakiri Erina and Ma Yin couldn't believe it. How could there be a whale like Dashin? And Lynn didn't bother to explain to them. Anyway, in the Grand Line, this kind of behemoth is really nothing. There are 10 times and 100 times bigger than the whale laboon, especially the leader in Sea Kings. That is a giant. Sooner or later, the two of them will correct their perceptions in a daze. After arriving at the Grand Line, you have to face the choice of sailing route. Due to the magnetic extension of the inverted mountain and the special environment of the Grand Line, there are 7 feasible routes. Among the 7 sailing routes, Lynn chose the one consistent with the original Straw Hats. Although he is confident that he has enough strength to break through the other 6 unknown routes, it is not necessary. Moreover, the performance of Nakiri Erina and Ma Yin at Reversing Mountain made him realize that he is no longer single. Everything about the crew should be considered first. Before Erina and Main became really strong, he would reject unknown adventures. Therefore, it is a wise choice to take the known route from the starting point of Whiskey Peak. When approaching Whiskey Peak, Lynn suddenly got the news that her bounty had been increased again. Ding! Book reading fun on Friday. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time. April 29th to May 3rd. 020. Row at Naval Headquarters. Ding. Congratulations, Master Host. Your bounty has increased to 80 million. The system's notification sound made Lynn happy, but soon he was a little disappointed. Demolition of the Marine branch in Logue Town and defeating Smoker in public, greatly embarrassing Marine, and they only added 30 million to my quota. Lynn was really a little depressed. I thought that this time there would be at least 100 million rewards, which would meet the upgrade standard, but Marine didn't give much face. Or it could be said, Marine is too shameless. They have done your people like this, but they still offer rewards like this. Also possible because of what happened in East Blue? After all, the weakest sea can offer a reward of 80 million, which is already very top. After all, Creek, the overlord of East Blue, only has 17 million, and the Murloc Dragon only has 25 million. Lynn took a look at the reputation, by the way, and then the dissatisfaction dissipated. It seems that the real big gain in making a fuss about the Logtown Marine branch is prestige. At this time, his reputation not only far exceeded the 10,000 required to upgrade a level 3 captain, it even reached 14,000, and it was still growing with a clear trend. This was a pleasant surprise. However, the prestige points needed to upgrade to the 4th level captain later soared to the level of 100,000. Therefore, it seems that it is not the best solution to go to the Marine branch alone in the future. Moreover, things like smashing the Marine branch will definitely be suppressed by Marine in terms of fishing boats. If they work so hard to smash it, there may be no splash after the incident. After all, on the Grand Line, many Marine branches are no longer established in prosperous places, and more choose to guard important waterways and places with strategic value. If you smash them, you may not have as many melon-eating audiences as in Logtown. Hey, there are plenty of opportunities on the Grand Line, though. Lynn naturally had a plan in mind. Compared with the things he planned, smashing the Marine branch seems a bit low. If you want to do it bigger. However, Lynn didn't know that the discussions about him at Naval Headquarters were also going on hotly. Smoker was a leader among the Marine students of his class, and he was a Logia-fruit-capable person, so all the Marine bosses valued him very much at the beginning. When he was finished, the bosses even grabbed his head. At the end of the first half of the Grand Line, there is a gigantic, majestic city that looks like a seagull with outstretched wings and is located on the sea. Naval Headquarters, the representative of justice, the highest combat power in the world, and the true sea supremacy. But today, the most important headquarters in the headquarters, the Marshal's office. After an important meeting, it was suddenly heated up by a casual mention of personal news. TSK, this smoker was beaten a bit badly. The person who spoke was a tall old man with gray hair and a scar on his left eye. He looked at a fax photo on the Marshal's desk and couldn't help but say in surprise, "Marine hero Garp, it seems right to let him go to East Blue. No, the training is coming soon. Let his nose go up to the sky. And instead of being a good Marine elite, he will be a rebellious youth. His temper is as stubborn as a donkey," Mr. Zephyr said before that he can become Admiral's candidate. "But now I dare say whether he can become Vice Admiral in the future." A brown-haired Vice Admiral with 4X scars on his face and no pupil in his left eye sneered. His words were full of sarcasm. Marine Vice Admiral Doberman. He is also the strongest, the most accomplished, and the most prestigious existence in Vice Admiral besides Garp. He has a violent personality, hates evil like hatred, and believes in absolute justice. Naturally, he is also a hawkish Marine. Everyone knows that he is on the side of Admiral Akainu. Over the years, with the possible retirement of Marshal Sengoku and the rumors that the new Marshal will be promoted among the admirals, the faction relationship in Naval Headquarters has also become more and more delicate. Smoker has always been under attack by the Akainu camp because of his relationship with Aokiji.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. Our 18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.